The cyclamen is not very popular inside of Roblox Grow a Garden, and a lot of people don't even remember that this thing was added into the game. So in this video, I decided to give it some love, get the rainbow mutation on it, and also a ton of other mutations on it to grow the most expensive rainbow cyclamen inside of Roblox Grow a Garden to show how special this fruit actually is. So make sure to watch until the end of this video to see how my cyclamen turns out and how rich it'll make me. All right, so I guess first things first is we are going to go ahead and spawn in some Triceratops here to smack this thing and to grow it pretty good, and then we'll do our sprinklers because people are saying, Bandites, do the sprinklers after the plant's actually grown. That way you can get all the cool stuff on it. So, and it seems to work, so I'm gonna go ahead and believe you guys and do that. And then I think I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in my golden goose here just so we can get a golden egg prepared so we can get that fortune mutation ready in just a little bit. And let's go ahead and start watering this cyclamen. I have 400 watering cans, so this should definitely help. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in 2 advanced sprinklers just to make this grow a little bit faster, since that helps with growth speed. And then we're gonna slowly watering can it because you guys were like, Bandites, don't spam the watering cans. You guys have actually been very helpful. Okay, I love you guys. Thank you for your help. You have told me a lot about this game, and I mean, there's just so much to remember. I know you guys are like, get this mutation, do this, do this. There's so many different strategies and so many different things. I am one person with one tiny little old man brain. I'll be 25 this year. My brain is slowing down already. I'm probably gonna die. There's so much Grow a Garden content in my head that I don't know what to do, man. There's just so much to think about. Let's go ahead and get these moon cats out here. There we go. That's 7 moon cats. And then we're going to go ahead and put our sprinklers down now. So we're going to do a grand master on it. We're going to do a master, a godly. We're gonna do another advanced and a basic, and that should give us some big cyclamens. Okay, and now we just gotta wait for our moon cats to sleep all around our cyclamen, and then we will have our Triceratops hit it, and then we should be in business with a big cyclamen that will actually be towering and beautiful and gorgeous, and it'll look like me. Beautiful, gorgeous, towering. All right, we got some of these moon cats on it. That's good. Can I travel this over here? Yeah, that's 3 moon cats on it right there. That's pretty good. There we go. Moon cat wave is done. Let's go ahead and pick up one of these guys that didn't even help, like you. I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in a queen bee here because we're gonna get the queen bee started, since she does have a pretty long cooldown of like 16, 17, 18 minutes there. Yeah, because there's so many pets now. Like, the whole thing of these videos for me now is just to save as much time as I can with getting all the mutations, because it used to be I only sat here for an hour. Now I sit here for like 4 hours trying to get all these mutations done. This game has so much in it now that it's just like my head hurts, and it takes me a long time to record these. So I try to save a little bit of time just so I save a little bit of sanity. Oh, okay, these are pretty big, yeah. Are these fully grown? I don't think they are. I still can't pick them up, but these are definitely a lot bigger than the last ones. Okay, well, I think we're good there then. Let's go ahead and, I guess, pick up all these guys. All right, and then we'll go ahead and spawn in our golden goose again to start on that that fortune egg that we need. Where's my goose? Where's my little goose guy? There he is. All right, that should be good. And then I'm going to use my main account to finish growing this. So I'm just going to skip the rest of the growth time, since these, I'm just trying to save a little bit more time, okay? All right, now these should be fully grown in. There we go. I'm gonna pick up these other ones. There we go. Now we only have 1 cyclamen here. I thought this was 2, but it's 1 just giant one. All right, so we're good there. We're good. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and travel this and just spin it around this way so our kitsune over there, my main account, has less trouble. Let's go ahead and get that butterfly spawned in because my queen bee is already going, and we have about 14 minutes left, but that will save a little bit of time in the long haul for that butterfly. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and put some sprays on this. Let's go ahead and do a pollinated spray, shocked spray. Guess I'll do chocolate. I'll save that fried, and then on my main account I'll add some as well. I'll go ahead and add a cloud touch and windstruck since I have extras of those. All right, that should be good. That should be 5 mutations on it. Yep, there we go. We have 5 mutations on our cyclamen. It is good to go. And then over here on my main account, I'm going to go ahead and spawn in my kitsune. Let's go ahead and do that. There we go. Kitsune is spawned in, and then we'll spawn in a queen bee to save that kitsune a little bit of time, and that way we can get the chakra mutation applied to this cyclamen as soon. Sorry, I keep saying cyclamen. To the cyclamen as soon as it's rainbow. Now we just got to wait for all these cooldowns, and yeah, so I'm gonna go wait for these things to happen, and I'll be back in just a minute. All right, so we have some magic about to happen. The queen bee is going to cool down our butterfly. The butterfly is going to take our mutations on our cyclamen here and convert it to rainbow, and then our golden goose is going to lay an egg, and we'll have a fortune egg ready so we can get that moved over to our cyclamen in a little bit. Here we go. Queen bee is doing her thing. Butterfly is doing its thing, and there we go. Our cyclamen is now a rainbow cyclamen, so we can go ahead and favorite this so we don't touch that, and we can pick up our butterfly. We could pick up our queen bee. And then our golden goose is going to go ahead and lay an egg here for us. There we go. We now have a fortune egg, so we can go ahead and pick up our golden goose as well. And then we're going to trowel this over here just so it will give us a better chance of our kitsune over here focusing on this cyclamen only. All right, so let's go ahead and reapply some sprays here. So I'm going to go ahead and put chocolate back onto it. I'm going to put shocked onto it, pollinated. I guess we'll do fried, even though it may or may not really matter if we do fried, if we get ceramic, but I'm going to add that anyways, just in case. And then on my main account over here, I'm going to apply burnt, verdant, and cloud touched. So there we go. I don't have any bloom sprays, but this brings us up to 8 mutations. We're missing like 2 of them that we normally apply. Oh, honey glazed. I was like, what am I missing? All right, so let me go ahead and use a honey sprinkler. But yeah, we ran out of bloom sprays. I'll have to get some more of those before the event ends. But we have about like another week to grind those, so I'll do that. So those are all those done. We will now get chakra in just a second. And now it's time to focus on some of our pets. So I guess since we didn't get bloom, and we usually have that done, I'm going to go ahead and spawn in a Spriggan here. Now this guy does take 22 minutes, but he does have a 15% chance to give us the bloom mutation as long as he's near this. So we'll boost him whenever it gets closer. And since he takes a long time, we are going to get him in there. And we are going to get our lobsters in here since they take a while, and we need to try to get molten and meteoric done. So I guess I'll spawn in the jackalope since they're pretty quick. And I'll spawn in 3 of these guys just so we can get them done and out of the way. And then I'll get 2 disco bees started here. All right, I'm going to boost these jackalopes just to help with their cooldowns being a little bit faster so we can get this done quicker. And then that way they're also boosted for a better chance. Jackalope, Sandy. Okay, first one failed. Sandy failed. What about you? Failed. Okay. Wow, they all failed in their first round. Come on. We got to get you guys done and out of the way. We got more pets. Come on. All right. Here comes our kitsune. He is targeting, hopefully, the cyclamen. No, he's straight lining the fortune egg. I wish you'd go for the cyclamen, like the one that we wanted on, but we'll just have to have our Spinos do a little bit more later. That's fine. At least we have chakra somewhere, so our golden egg now has chakra. Now, can we get Sandy? Can you guys get Sandy, but not on the egg? I mean, if you do, at least it's done, but I'd rather it be on the actual plant that we want it on. Give us the Sandy mutation, please. Failed? What about you guys? Come on. Hurry up. We don't have time for you guys to fail. That's another fail. That's another... Bro, why are you guys failing so much? Isn't this thing beautiful? Don't you want to get your sand all over it? All right, we just missed it, but we did get Sandy on our golden egg, which works. We'll use the Spinosaurus to move all these mutations over. Bro, why? We're not doing the golden egg again. We already did that. Why are you guys all applying to this? Anyways, that's fine. I'm going to go ahead and pick up our jackalopes now, get them out of the way. Our disco bees are almost done with their cooldown, so hopefully we get disco done and out of the way and actually on the cyclamen directly, so the Spinos have less work to do. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and spawn in our giant bean lemon lion now. Now, I did give him the giant bean mutation because he looks cool with it, but also I thought there was a giant bean mutation, but I guess that hasn't been added in yet. It was on the wiki, but I guess people had it wrong. Yeah, we only have this guy who's really hungry now, but every 5 minutes he roars and applies the brain rot mutation, so that's a pretty quick cooldown, so we can get him done and out of the way. We're gonna also spawn in a peach wasp. The peach wasp actually can give us the new plasma mutation. Well, not new, it's been in the game, but it can give us the plasma mutation and also advance other pets' cooldowns. This one also might be a guaranteed pet because it says flies to nearby fruit and plasmifies it, but it doesn't say there's a % chance for it to happen. So we should be able to get plasma done, and then we're also going to spawn in our mandrake. Now, I don't know, is this guy guaranteed? No, he has a 3% chance, literally the tiniest % chance ever to apply the rot mutation. And his cooldown, how long is his cooldown? He doesn't even have a cooldown, it looks like. He just has a 3% chance to do it. Oh. Harvesting mandrake crops have a 4% chance to apply rot mutation to a random fruit. Okay, so I don't even need to use this guy yet. Also, we just got disco done, but again, on the golden egg. These guys really love their golden egg. But anyways, yeah, the mandrake, we can't use them yet. We have to wait until later. This guy, we might not even be able to use for a long time in our videos, depending on how many mandrake plants we actually get. But anyways, yeah, we'll have to get some more seeds, I guess, of the mandrakes. I had some on my main account, but yeah, okay, so this guy might be useless. I don't know. But we're gonna pick him up for now then. And the disco bees are done, so let's get them out of the way. And wow, there's so many things on this golden egg that the Spinosaurus will have to move over, but I guess that's fine. Let's go ahead and see if we add anything else to the golden egg. I'm gonna go ahead and boost these guys and see if we get molten done. I think we probably want to start with the spaghetti slot so we can get aromatic done and his 3 mutations to get the spaghetti mutation completely done. And we're gonna work on the pterodactyl. Let's do this H16 one, and then we'll work on the corrupt kitsune so we can get corrupt chakra and tempestuous done. And we're gonna place some carrots shortly for these guys to get their mutations on. Hey, brain rot guy, come here. Give me brain rot. Okay, he gave us brain rot on the golden egg, of course. He was pretty close to it, but I guess that's fine. You know, we'll have our Spinos do some more work, man. That's fine. Make it hard on them. I guess we'll get the junk bot going because he's kind of like an odd man out. We only have one of them, and he takes forever to get oil. So let's go ahead and just get him in there. All right, our Spriggan is about ready, so I'm going to attempt to move this thing next to him, and hopefully we get bloom done. I really miss having the bloom sprays, dude. The more sprays we have, the less time consuming this is because there's so many pets to go through and they all take forever with their own cooldown. So yeah, I wish we still had more bloom sprays. I will grind some more out though before the event ends, so we might have to use the Spriggan again for a while. I mean, and nothing against you, man. You look like Groot and everything, but like, I don't know. I just like to save some time. Give me that bloom mutation, my man. Come on.
Nope.
Yeah, we didn't get it. Okay, well that was cool. That looked cool. That's not the blue mutation, so continue on then. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and give some toys to my lobsters here to see if they'll help us out with anything. Okay, failed, 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 and failed. So they didn't help us with anything, so now I'm just gonna go cry myself to sleep. Spaghetti Sloth, he just loves his carrots, dude. I don't know why. Like, there's a golden egg here with all these mutations, and then there's this cyclamen that needs to be mutated, but this dude's like, oh, you got carrots in your garden? I love carrots. He'd just be running over here to give us carrot mutations. Every time, dude, without fail, I could have a bone blossom and this dude would be like, oh, no, that carrot looks yummy. Anyways, at least he gave us meatball, so that'll be another mutation to move over. We got to get pasta and sauce done, and then we also got to get his aromatic pet mutation shard to get moved on to something. Hopefully anything, because that one usually takes a while. So, Pterodactyl, Corrupt Kitsune, and Junkbot are almost done. I assume the Junkbot will fail me and make me very, very sad like he always does. But Junkbot, listen here, buddy. I always be making you deals nowadays, and this time, if you give me the oil mutation, I will do an oil change for you. I will get you some new clean oil. You know, you could be a really good Junkbot. You know what I'm saying? All right, never mind. I hate you too. I don't know why my pets just don't ever like me, dude. It makes me really sad. Like, you see the tears coming out of my face? Look at that. Corrupt Kitsune, hey, buddy. Give me Corrupt Chakra. Don't fail. Don't fail like 20 times like everybody else. Just do it on your first go. Maybe even just do it directly to the cyclamen, because our Spinos have so much work already. I think they would appreciate it if you could just do it to that. Okay, you're not. Okay, well, we got it on some carrots. That's good. Wait, you did get it on the cyclamen. Bro, I love you. Come here. I just picked up the meatball carrot, bro. I picked up the meatball carrot. What am I doing? All right, well, that's fine. You know, honestly, I don't even care. I need this guy to just do it on our cyclamen anyways. He's going to probably apply meatball like 20 times over. That's what he does. Anyways, Pterodactyl, come here, buddy. I need you to give us Tempestuous. Why is there silver? I don't want silver right now. Tempestuous, please. And if you want, do it directly on the cyclamen like the Corrupt Kitsune did. Make me very happy. Or not. But we got it on 2 carrots, so that works. Thanks, buddy. What's next? Peach Wasp is about to sting one of my other pets, which will speed stuff up. I'm gonna give him a toy, though, because he's almost ready with Plasma. He's just kind of gliding around. I don't know what he's doing, bro. Oh, wait, that made both of his things ready. All right, Plasma. Oh, let's go. He got Plasma directly on the cyclamen. That actually helps us a lot. So, I'm gonna go ahead and pick up this Peach Wasp. Maybe I'll spawn in 2 of my Spinos, because they gotta make a dent in this golden egg. It's gonna take a while, so I might as well let them get started and start moving these mutations over. Oh, actually, let's do the gnome. He's kind of like an odd man out. He's by himself, and he literally has a 1% chance to mutate a random fruit with gnome. This guy, I have better luck going outside and finding $1 million than this guy giving me gnome. But he looks like Cletus, so I'll give him some love. All right, our lobsters are about to attempt to apply meteoric again. I believe this is meteoric. All right, come on. Let's do it. Okay, that was molten actually, but we did get molten. All right, cool. So we do have molten on this cyclamen here, so I'll let that grow for a second. And our Spaghetti Sloth is going back for the carrots, dude. This guy loves his carrots. All right, we got pasta. Oh, hey. It's time for a heat wave, actually. Hey, that's nice. Now we can get Paradisal done, and that actually will probably, once we get this stuff moved over, that'll give us ceramic done pretty much instantly, because I'll move wet over and stuff. But yeah, I'm excited for these Spinos to move these mutations over. We have a lot of them. Oh, we got oil done too. Yo, Junkbot. Hey, good job, man. We still have to go through the Tranquil Scarlet and the Corrupt Scarlet, so I might as well get... Usually the Corrupt one seems to get done faster. I don't know why. Maybe it's a slightly higher chance. I'll do Corrupt. All right, well, since the Gnome is a 1% chance, I think I'm just going to AFK him later on in the video. I actually decided I'm going to replace the Gnome for now with the Griffin. I forgot we need to get this guy done because he can give us the Cyclonic mutation. He has a 10% chance, which is better than the Gnome's 1% chance, obviously. So we're going to try to get this guy done. down and out of the way. I'm also going to give him a treat to boost his leveling a little bit. And yeah, he's only level 2, so he's a little guy. All right, so our Spinos are going to eat up now and eat some mutations. So it looks like they might have just ate oil. And then this one, they're eating tempestuous. And they ate wet. And then they're going to eat one from this one. So we got molten, wet, tempestuous, and disco moved over to our cyclamen. Now this guy's going. That should be oil on that one. And then he's going to eat pasta. So now we can get rid of these carrots. And then he's going to eat one from that. So now we have oil, pasta, brain rot added over to our cyclamen. And then we just need to get fortune, sandy, and chakra moved over. But that actually makes it look like we made some progress now, because now we have 2 rows of mutations. All right, lobster, meteoric, failed. Other lobster, meteoric, failed. And then we got molten again on one of the cyclamen. So that's great, but I didn't want that. I didn't want meteoric. All right, so we had wet and windstruck reapplied, but the main thing we needed there was chakra. So now all we need to get moved over is fortune from that golden egg. And just a second ago, my other Spinosaurus, when I was AFK, actually did move sandy over. And it looks like, did we get ceramic? There it is. There's ceramic. All right, so that took away our burnt and fried, but we do have ceramic, which is a better mutation anyways. So there we go. And it looks like our spaghetti sloth also applied sauce to something. So we just have to get sauce and meatballs moved over now. And we still have to get aromatic from him. All right, so I think what I'm going to go ahead and do is prepare for the ultimate AFK setup so I can try to get all of the mutations that I need while I'm AFK from some of these pests that take forever. So we're going to try to get meteoric out of the way from these lobsters since they're almost done again with their cooldowns. We're going to boost them. Hopefully we get that done. Let's go ahead and take a look. I know we're done with most of our pets, but we still have a few. So I'm going to let our lobsters here attempt to give us meteoric real quick. So let's go ahead and boost them with some toys. Okay, they both failed, so that doesn't help. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick these guys up just for now, and I'm gonna spawn them back in just a second. And same with the Spinosaurus. I'm gonna get some of these other pets done and out of the way. So I'm gonna boost the Spriggan actually, and see if we'll get Bloom done. Oh, there we go. We actually got Bloom on 2 things, on the egg and on this. So Spriggan actually just came in clutch for us. We're going to leave the spaghetti sloth here. And then let's get some other pets done, and then we'll set up for the ultimate AFK setup. So I can just go AFK and wait for everything to kind of happen. So we're going to go ahead and spawn in a bunch of chicken zombies. We're going to also spawn in our Raiju. And I'm going to go ahead and place a carrot seed down for the Raiju. And then we're just going to leave our spaghetti sloth here to do its thing. I'm going to try to get aromatic done, and we do have sauce. So all we need is meatballs and aromatic. So let's see if we can get either of those real quick. Okay, aromatic still failed, so we're gonna have to keep him around for a little bit longer, but let's see if we get meatballs done. So I'm gonna go ahead and get zombified done and static. And once those are done, we will then go back and spawn in those pets that were taking forever, and we'll spawn in some Spinos to move everything else over from the golden egg and from our other cyclamens. Sorry, from our other cyclamens. So we're gonna go ahead and wait for our Raiju here to eat carrot and apply static to cyclamen. All right, our Raiju is going to eat this shocked carrot and apply static, hopefully directly to this cyclamen, so it's easier for our Spinos in just a little bit. But here he goes, eats, shooting, and we got our nighttime event to start. And yes, there we go. We have static on the cyclamen. However, it did apply to like every other cyclamen we have. So I'm going to try to pick up some of these just to make it easier for our Spinos, with the ones that just only have static on them. So that is another mutation done, and we are good to go with that. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up this Raiju here, and we're just going to wait for, well, there we go. We got Moonlit from the nighttime event. So that's Moonlit done. And we'll probably honestly get it directly applied to this, but if not, again, we have our Spinos to help us with that. All right, Spaghetti Sloth just gave us meatball, which is perfect. We now have meatball on this one. We have sauce on this one. And then we need to use our Spinosaurus to move over this sauce, this Moonlit, and this meatball, and this Bloom. Now, they're going to take a while because they eat, like, everything. But, yeah. Oh, and we also just got another heat wave event, which is nice. So they're going to have to move over that sun-dried as well, even though we don't need it. In the meantime, though, we're going to go ahead, before we set up for our AFK grind, I'm going to go ahead and give some boosts to my chicken zombies to hopefully give us zombified. Oh, and there we go. The first one literally just, 2 of them just gave us zombified. We got 1 on that one and 1 on that one. I'll see, I guess, if the other ones apply it directly to our main cyclamen. All right, so now that we got those guys out of the way, it is time... Excuse me. Ow, that went through my nose. All right. Anyways, it is time to set up for our AFK grind and get the rest of these pets that we need. So we're definitely going to spawn in our Tranquil Scarlet Macaw so we can get Tranquil done. We're going to spawn in our Corrupt Scarlet Macaw so we can try and get Corrupt done. We're going to go ahead and spawn in a Gnome so we can try to get that 1% mutation to get applied to something. This guy's pretty puny and useless, but hey, he's cool. And then we're going to go ahead and try to get that Griffin to give us the Cyclonic mutation so that way we get Cyclonic. And then we're going to spawn spawn in 2 of our Spinos again, because these guys have a lot of work to move mutations over to our main favorited cyclamen here. All right, and then what else do we need? I think we got, did we ever get, oh no, we never got meteoric done. So we're gonna need to get those lobsters back in here for sure. Oh wait, we can only do 1 right now. Hold on. As soon as we get aromatic, we can get rid of this spaghetti sloth. Like he's good. So do you want to give us aromatic real quick so we can do that?
Nope.
Never mind. All right, we'll wait. Let's go ahead and add another lobster in a little bit. Actually, no, I'm going to go ahead and just get the lobster in, and then we can add another Spino in a little bit. That way we have better chance for meteoric, since that one is a difficult one to get. And I think that's pretty much it. So these guys will be AFK. These guys, I have to harvest stuff, so I'll do that at the very end. So I'll be back, and I'll see you guys in a few hours, and we'll be back and hopefully have all of those mutations done. I'm going to write those down as well, so I remember what we need, because that's a lot. All right, so I have been AFKing on and off pretty much all day. I think the last time I actually sat down when I was recording was like 5 hours ago, and I've just been letting all the mutations add up, which we pretty much have gotten everything but the gnome mutation. Now, I didn't realize this when I read it earlier. I don't know why it passed my slow, puny brain, but I just realized that this says gains an additional 1% chance for every gnome cosmetic in your garden. So I think if you literally have like 100 gnomes, that guy will be a guaranteed gnome mutation. So whenever the gnome merchant was here earlier, I should have been buying gnomes. I didn't realize that, but I plan to stack up on as many gnomes as possible whenever the next merchant shows up, and I'm just going to place them on the edge of my garden so this guy can always give us that gnome mutation. But anyways, besides that though, with the 1% chance he has, within 5 hours, we did not get that gnome mutation done. However, we did have an eclipse event, so we got that added on. We had meteoric moved over from our Spinosauruses, along with the spaghetti ingredients. We had maelstrom, which is actually the cyclonic mutation from the new griffin bird, mixed with tempestuous is what people are saying it is. Everyone's still trying to figure it out, because tempestuous was gone and cyclonic, we got it, but it never was like added directly onto the cyclamen plant. But I think it's because once the griffin adds that, if you have tempestuous, it mixes it into maelstrom. And then we did get aromatic finally added on and moved over. We got windstruck, which is an extra mutation since we got the maelstrom. And then we did get brain rot moved over. We got corrupt and tranquil finally done. We got fortune moved over, and we got plasma moved over and everything else, and bloom. So this thing has a ton of mutations on it. It is looking good, but we're going to finish off by trying to get the new rotten mutation, or the new rot mutation from these mandrakes, and hopefully harvesting some of these will help us enough to get the mandrake or the rot mutation applied to this, or even one of these sugar apples, and we can use this Spinosaurus to move it over. So let me view this real quick. So that's a 4% chance. Let's go ahead and pick these up. See if we get mandrake. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and I guess plant a couple more mandrake. So the thing about this mutation is this is kind of useless if you don't have mandrake plants. So that's the only problem with this, is like eventually we're gonna run out of these because they probably won't have mandrake plants anymore unless they move it to the seed shop. So these pets will become useless. So I'm assuming they're gonna move these to the seed shop. If they don't, then these will literally be useless. But anyways, go ahead and try to pick up some more. Okay, still nothing. I don't know how many to plant. I only have 23 more, so we'll try a couple more here and see if we get it. And there we go. We got it on a sugar apple. That's perfect, actually. So that is done. We're next going to spawn in our apple guy here. Where is he at? Our apple gazelle. And this guy can possibly give us the warp mutation when we harvest sugar apples. So we're going to try it. We're going to try to harvest some here and see if we get that mutation. So I'm going to go and pick up these sugar apples without picking up that rot one. Okay, that didn't really do anything. Let's go ahead and bring my main account in here so we can grow this back and then try to get that mutation done. And in the meantime, since we're done with the mandrakes, I'm going to go ahead and pick these guys up. We're going to get our Spinos back in here to get this stuff moved over. All right, still nothing. We're going to try it at least one more time. And if we don't get anything, I'm at least going to AFK so this guy levels up and gets a better % chance to get this mutation in the future, because this is a difficult one to get. All right, we did not get it. All right, well, I think I'm going to go ahead and say we're going to wait to try to get this one in the future. He's only age 3, but he has a lot of time. We can try and get him to level up. I guess I'll leave this guy here and let the apples grow one more time, just so whenever we get back, he might have a little bit of a higher chance. And then we're going to finish off by getting that raw mutation moved over, and then hopefully we can maybe get the apple gazelle's mutation moved over, that warp mutation. So we'll see. All right, so I actually was picking up some sugar apples here, and I ended up getting the warped mutation on this sugar apple, and we're still waiting for our Spinos to move that rot over, bro. I don't know what they're doing, but look at this warp mutation. That thing looks sick. All right, it took even even longer for our Spinosauruses to move over the rot mutation and the warp mutation. I don't know why it took so long, dude. I have been literally recording this for nearly 10 hours. I mean, again, it's been off and on with the AFKing, but bro, this one took forever. This one literally took forever. So for now, I'm gonna go ahead and reclaim this sugar apple tree so we can make sure we have a clean palette for the next video. But we're gonna go ahead and check this out. So our cyclamen plant here has all of these mutations on it, dude. Like, there are so many mutations. So I want to point out that first off, Maelstrom is the new cyclonic mutation mixed with tempestuous. Also, I can't seem to find the color of the cyclonic mutation because I was AFK when this happened and it just instantly went to Maelstrom. So if you guys know what the color is, let me know because I gotta add that to the thumbnail. Okay, next up we have the warped mutation on here. Oh, look at that, it's a nighttime event. We also have gloom. Now the gloom mutation is when you get rot with the bloom mutation. Those combine and make gloom for a better multiplier chance. We have the brain rot mutation on here, and we also have plasma from the new pet. So like, we have so many new mutations, a lot of them just mixed together, but let's count. We have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 5 26 27 28 29 mutations. But if we split up some of these like spaghetti, we'd be at about 31 mutations. Maelstrom would bring us at about, honestly, I think that's 2 more mutations because we got Windstruck back, so that would bring us to about like 33 mutations. Gloom, we'd be at about 34 mutations. Harmonized Chakra would bring us to about 35 mutations. So this cyclamen literally has the most mutations that we've ever gotten so far on one of these plants in a video. And if we got the gnomed mutation, I think we would have had a second row here, or at least 2 more mutations, like if we got gnomed and bloodlet, or like Aurora and acidic. Because we did get some of the events, just not the mutations from them. But if we did get some of those, oh, we also had a celestial event. If we got that, we definitely would have had 3 rows of mutations, which might have been never done before. Anyways, enough blabbering. We're gonna go ahead and pick this thing up and check the value with Steven. I wish we would have gotten that gnome mutation, but there's still a chance for Amber, so let's see if we get Amber. Nope. Okay, we did not get Amber, so I guess there goes our chance for Amber. But anyways, this thing is so big with so many mutations, it just looks like this now. It is broken. Just like my heart. Anyways, let's go ahead and check the value of this. Oh, there we go. Look at all this. Look at all this, dude. It's crazy. Let's go ahead and check the value of this huge cyclamen plant with all of these mutations and see what the ultimate value of this is going to be. So, Steven, what are we looking at today? This thing is worth 398 billion. Man, I thought this was going to be more. I don't know if I'm happy about that. I thought we'd be closer to 1 trillion, but I honestly think some of the multipliers have been nerfed a little bit, at least with the huge plants. I think some of the huge plants, they don't give you as much money because people were getting plants that were worth like quadrillions, which is insane. I mean, 400 billion, I can't complain. That is not bad at all. Just about 400 billion at least. But for me spending this much time, we have had other plants on this game that we've gotten a lot more money on. And this was a pretty big cyclamen with a lot of mutations. I think it should have been more, but again, the base value might have been lower than what I was thinking. I didn't actually even check the base value, but yeah. You guys will be happy to know that I did finally get a pancake stack. So this should help my mooncats actually surround the new Romanesco and help us get a big growth from it. So let's go ahead and get started. So we're gonna go ahead and place down our Grandmaster Sprinkler, Master, Godly, Advanced, Basic, and then we're going to place our Romanesco seed down right in that mix. We're going to go ahead and spawn our Mooncats here because I believe the Mooncats should actually help affect this and help it grow faster. And then with that, we're going to also spawn in our Triceratops to help speed up the growth a little bit. And I also am going to go ahead and use some... I don't have watering cans. Wow, this is a first. I don't want to do that watermelon, bro. Get that out. All right, well, no worries because I do have my main account here. So I'm going to bring my main account over and I'm going to use my main account to watering can the Romanesco to hopefully get it to sprout up a lot faster. All right, we got some Mooncats. The pancake stack is definitely helping. They're all in this area right here. And our Romanesco is growing a little bit faster with all those watering cans. I'm going to move this into the Mooncats just a little bit closer. All right, so we use all of our watering cans. I'm going to have to buy some more, but our Triceratops should definitely help with getting this to fully grow. But the watering cans is just to speed up the process a little bit. We're going to throw some more watering cans on it. And that is pretty much all we have for now. So our Triceratops will hopefully do the rest of the work here. It just seems like it grows a little bit faster than some other plants, so I think we only need our Triceratops to hit it 1 time, and I think that should be enough for it to fully grow in. All right, so while we wait for that, I do want to say we can actually get the Sandy mutation pretty easily now because I do have the new Jackalope pet. There's also a new pet that you can use to get the new blue mutation. Spriggan, I believe it's called. This guy will give you the new blue mutation on plants, and then we also opened up a golden goose in one of the eggs, and this guy can give you the new fortune mutation. He has a chance to hatch your seed, and it will start start out with the fortune mutation, almost like how rainbow and gold can spawn in on a fruit when you first grow it in. This guy pretty much sort of does that, but he gives you a fortune seed. You can plant that, you'll have fortune mutation on it, and if you sell it, it will give you a chance to actually have your other plants grow fortune on them. So this guy will come in clutch at the very end of the video. All right, there we go. Our Romanesco is at 100% grown, so it's pretty much done. Our mooncats should all start sleeping over here, hopefully on top of it, so we can get some bigger Romanesco plants done, maybe. Let's just wait this minute. Let's see what kind of size we get on this thing. Hopefully it's a big one. Hopefully it's valuable, and hopefully we make some good money on this. All right, what do we got here, buddy? Go ahead and smack that thing. Oh, it's ready. That's a pretty big Romanesco. I didn't think it was gonna be that big. Good job, team. And pick all these guys up. All right, well, we're good here. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply some sprays to this thing so we can get 5 mutations on it, and then we can get this thing converted to rainbow. So let's go ahead and put shocked on it, honey glazed, pollinated. We have a ton of cloud touch, so I'm gonna go ahead and use a cloud touch, chocolate, and there we go. We have our 5 mutations, and with that, I'm gonna spawn in my queen bee, and I'm also going to spawn in my butterfly. The queen bee in just a few will cool down my butterfly, and then the butterfly will convert these 5 mutations to rainbow on our Romanesco, and then we can start gathering the actual mutations that we need. So we're gonna let that happen. Take about 17 minutes, but with a boost, it should be about, yeah, 13 minutes. And then on my main account over here, I'm going to spawn in a queen bee over here as well, and we're gonna spawn in my kitsune. This queen bee will cool down this kitsune. It'll steal the Romanesco, and we'll get chakra applied to it. So that should be an extra mutation within 20 minutes after we get rainbow done. So we're gonna BRB for just a second, and we'll come back when we have rainbow. All right, it's time to get to work. Our queen bee's cooldown is about done, so she is finally going to cool down our butterfly, and our butterfly will give us rainbows. There we go. We now have rainbow on the Romanesco, so we are good to go. We can pick up this butterfly and this queen bee, and we can go ahead and favorite this Romanesco plant so we don't accidentally pick it up. And let's go ahead and get some sprays applied back to it. So we're going to put burnt on it, shocked, fried, verdant, pollinated, cloud touch, chocolate, and honey glazed, which brings us to 9 mutations. So on our main account, I'm going to go ahead and apply the wet mutation onto this so we can easily get this thing to clay and then ceramic. I'm also going to go ahead and apply the new bloom spray, which I do have the pet to apply bloom, but since I have some sprays, we might as well save some time and apply this. I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in the new jackalope pets here. I'm gonna spawn in 2 of them. To attempt to give us sandy on this thing so we can go ahead and get clay and then start working towards getting ceramic. So these guys every about minute and a half have a 15% chance to apply sandy mutation. So that's actually a pretty good pet to have. So there we go. These guys are gonna start doing their thing. We're also gonna spawn in 2 of our lobsters to attempt to give us molten and meteoric. We're also gonna go ahead and spawn in 2 disco bees to start working on getting us the disco mutation. And then let me see, we have so many pets to work with now, it's actually crazy. I guess I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in my corrupt kitsune, and then I'll spawn in the raiju here. Whenever the raiju's cooldown is almost done, we're gonna plant a carrot seed down for him, and we're gonna put shocked mutation on it so that way he'll eat it, and then apply the static mutation to our Romanesco. All right, both failed. That's fine. Their cooldowns are so low that it doesn't really matter. So we're gonna wait just a second for those guys to apply sandy, and then we'll swap them out. We're also gonna wait for our kitsune over here, and I guess to speed this up a little bit, I'm gonna give these jackalopes some toys just so they have a boost. Anyways, let's go ahead and watch the magic happen real quick. So where's my kitsune? Hello? Oh, also I know people are gonna be like, oh, Bandites, look, there's a new silver mutation. It's just like gold, where you can't have gold in rainbow, you also can't have silver in rainbow. Rainbow is still the best out of the growth mutation. So, yeah, we're not using that right now, okay? Anyways, here we go. Simon, our kitsune, is going to steal our Romanesco now. And we got Foxfire Chakra today. Let's go, dude. That's a better mutation there. So if we can get our corrupt kitsune to give us Foxfire Corrupt Chakra, then we can get Harmonized Foxfire Chakra, and then we will make like 130 times multiplier on this. One of the best mutations you can get. So now, once the Raiju is done, in 50 seconds with its cooldown, it will eat this and then puke it up onto our Romanesco and give us the static mutation. And also, look at that, we just got a heat wave, so this should give us Paradisal. And if these jackrabbits hurry up, dude, then we could easily get ceramic done right now. All right, jackrabbits, please give us sandy. We got to get this done. We got to get ceramic done. We have a chance here, but you guys have to speed it up a little bit. All right, let's see. Sandy? Sandy? Yes. No. Yes, yes. Okay, we got it on both. All right, perfect. Thank you, Jackalopes. We're good there. I'm gonna real quick bring my main account back in here and apply another wet spray so we can get... Okay, sorry, there's a lot going on. All right. Raiju struck this with static. That's good. We have another mutation done. We have Sandy done. I'm gonna real quick pick this Raiju up. We're gonna get my main account back into the game so he can apply the wet mutation and we can easily get... Oh, wait, we already got ceramic. Never mind. We don't even need him. What happened? We had wet? I don't even know how we got ceramic. I don't know what he just... What did he take? We're fine. We're fine. We have ceramic. We're good. So yeah, now we have ceramic. We have Paradisal. We finally got ceramic and Foxfire Chakra. 2 new mutations that we've like literally never gotten before in the series. So that's good to see. All right. With that, sorry, lots going on. I'm overstimulated. All right. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and spawn in a Pterodactyl now. Pterodactyl is spawned in. I will plant some carrots for him to get tempestuous, just like we're going to do for our Corrupt Kitsune. And then we're going to go ahead and spawn in our Spaghetti Sloth next because this guy has 4 mutations he has to work through. We have to get pasta, meatballs, sauce, and aromatic from his mutation shard. I guess because the junk bot takes a while, we'll go ahead and use the junk bot next, and we'll do the chicken zombies towards the end today. So yeah, the junk bot definitely should be in now because we're going to be waiting around for hours for that dude to do anything. Also, another thing we could do real quick is our Disco Bees cooldowns are about to be over with. So I'm going to go ahead and give them toys to hopefully, just hopefully, boost them enough to give us the Disco mutation. There we go. First try with both toys boosting this guy. So I guess what I'll do is spawn in 1 Kappa to work on getting us bloodlit. And then I will spawn in a chicken zombie to work on getting us zombified. That way we can have 2 more pets working through their mutations. Hopefully we get that bloodlit done so we can get moonlit in just a little bit when a nighttime event occurs. Here's 1 lobster. Molten, please. Molten. Okay, failed. Where's your friend? Maybe your friend will help. Molten, please. All right, there we go. We got Molten done on the Romanesco, but now we just have to wait for Meteoric. So hopefully it's easy as pie to get Meteoric as well. All right, so I just boosted my Corrupt Kitsune with a toy, so his cooldown is about only a minute left. I'm trying to boost my Pterodactyl as well, but this dude is trapped inside the Romanesco, so I'll deal with him in a second. I don't have time. I got to get some carrot seeds down for my boy here so we can hopefully get Corrupt Chakra nice and quickly. Oh, I already have some seeds in here. All right, so I'm going to place down 9 seeds for him. So in case he misses the Romanesco, he'll apply it to this, and the Spinosaurus will move that over. So where is our Pterodactyl? Oh, there you are. Here you go. Hold on. Stay there. No. Come back out here now. Come back out here now, buddy. Bro, I can't click this guy. The plant is so big, and he's just sitting inside of it. Come here, buddy. Come here so I can boost your cooldown. All right, this guy's annoying me. All right, well, the Corrupt Kitsune's about to do stuff. Let's see which one he gets. Corrupt Chakra, or hopefully we get Corrupt Foxfire Chakra on today. Okay, we got Corrupt Chakra, but no Corrupt Foxfire Chakra. I guess we could wait around, but I'm trying to speed up and get some more mutations. So we're gonna probably pick him up anyways. But bro, where is this Pterodactyl? Yo, come out of the plant, please. I need to boost your mutation. He's being a little stupid idiot, stupid stinky butt. Get out, bro. I literally... All right, I'm gonna scream, dude. I'm gonna scream at this guy. Hold on, pardon me for a second here. Tracy, get out of the Romanesco now! Bro, he's not listening. I give up. I give up, dude. I was gonna give you a toy. We're gonna be friends, but you're being a punk. He only has a minute and a half left. I think he's definitely gonna give us Tempestuous on something. I don't think I need to even worry about it, but let's just let him do his... Oh, bro, he's out. He's out. He's out. Okay, there we go. All right, give us Tempestuous, please. All right, we got Tempestuous on one of the carrots. Perfect. All right, so our junk bot is almost done. Our spaghetti slot's almost done. Our lobster should be done with Meteoric in a second here. That'll be nice. And let's see what else we should spawn in then. I'm thinking we'll double up on the chicken zombies. Oh, you know what? I'm forgetting something. We got to sit here and wait 3 million years for the Corrupt Scarlet to give us the Corrupt mutation. And we also got to do the one for Tranquil. But, you know what? I guess I'm going to move the Kappa for now because I usually don't have any hope on them getting bloodlit anyways. So I'm going to move him out of the way just for now, and then we're gonna work on getting Tranquil and Corrupt, and then we'll spawn in the Kappas towards the end because we have more mutations to worry about, and these guys take forever. All right, I almost just missed it, but all I would have missed is the hurt and pain that these lobsters just caused to my heart. So I guess it would have been better if I missed it, but yeah, they did not give us Meteoric yet, so we have to wait around a little bit longer, but you know, I guess that's fine, dude. Maybe our junk bot will come in clutch today and give us that nice oil mutation. Also, we just got meatball applied to one of our carrots, so our spaghetti sloth is literally trolling right now, dude. I'm gonna go ahead and try to spam both of these toys on him. So, hey, bro. All right, well, I guess I'm not going to. Wait, he's coming out. He's coming out. No, he's not. Bro, why do you run away from my toys? I'm trying to boost your cooldowns and your mutation multiply. I can't speak. Here. Let's go. He got carrot oiled. Huh? Or he applied oil to the carrot. So there we go. We have another mutation down and done. All right, our Spinosaurus is about to eat some mutations. Okay, he applied meatball and oil to the Romanesco, and now we just have to wait for him to move over this corrupt chakra and this tempestuous, which this carrot also has verdant on it now because one of my scarlets did that. They had a little oopsie there. That's fine. But anyways, there we go. Oil is now applied. We have molten from earlier. We have meatball, so this thing is looking pretty good with all these stacked mutations. Let's see what mutation our spaghetti sloth decides to apply next. Let's see. What is he doing? Are you coming over here, buddy? Bro, why do you want to come to the carrot so bad, bro? You already meatballed one of them. Why can't you just do it to the... Bro. All right, well, he's out. He's going to probably apply meatball to one of these things again. Pasta. Okay, at least you got us pasta this time. So now we just need aromatic from him and sauce, and once that's done, he's out. Golden goose. Hey, bro, don't lay your egg inside the Romanesco. I literally cannot see in there unless I shift lock, but then I can't interact with anything in there. So if you're gonna lay an egg, can you do it out here, please? So I can actually see it. Hey! Oh, you know what? It's the pancake stack. That's why they're all going in there. I'm gonna move it over so I can see them. Where is that thing? It's right here. Come here. Come here, pancake. Come over here. Golden goose laid an egg. Let's see. Oh, that's one big egg, buddy. Let me try to sell this thing. Hey, Steven, can you apply this to my Romanesco, my man?
Nope.
Okay, well, he didn't apply it, but it was worth a shot. Okay, one of our scarlets just applied the corrupt mutation to a carrot, which means our other scarlet, the tranquil one, should be applying tranquil in just a minute, or trying to. Oh, look at that, bro. We got both of them done right away today. So we got tranquil done and we got corrupt both on the same carrot. Wow, that actually just smiled to my face that they actually loved me today. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and pick these guys up so they don't try to apply verdant. But yeah, we got those done right away. That's awesome. So I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in another Spinosaurus because we have quite a lot of mutations we need to move over now. 2 more pets done. We can see if we're gonna get the chicken zombie done and out of the way next, I guess, since he is almost done with his cooldowns. Let me give him double toys. And failed. Wow, this guy really doesn't like me. Double boost and he still can't give the mutation. All right, spaghetti sloth, what you doing, buddy? Hey, he wants the carrots again, dude. Why don't you want the big Romanesco? Like, this thing is literally like a broccoli plant that you could probably throw in your spaghetti, but you want the carrots instead. You're disgusting. You disgust me. I'm just kidding. You don't disgust me because you just gave me sauce, dude. I love you. Our golden goose is about to lay an egg. Hello? Welcome to the world, egg. All right. Give me fortune on something. Give me fortune on something. All right, you know what? Fine, Steven. I see how it is, buddy. All right, he's eating some mutations. All right, we got corrupt chakra done and out of the way. And we got tranquil moved over. So those are both added onto our Romanesco now. I can pick up this wet carrot because we don't really need wet. I will do that with the capos later. And then, yeah, we just need all of these pretty much moved over. Besides verdant, we don't really need that. Okay, that was a fail, meteoric. Where's the other lobster? Buddy, come on out. There you are. All right, meteoric, please. Meteoric, please. Meteoric, please.
Nope.
All right, so I was checking my phone for a second and I just missed something that happened. But yeah, this carrot, you know, it does have pasta from our spaghetti sloth, but our spaghetti sloth also just applied pasta directly onto our Romanesco here. So now we have pasta and meatball on that. And now once our Spinosauruses move the sauce over, then this will be fully spaghetti. And then we just need aromatic from our spaghetti sloth. But yeah, this thing is looking pretty good. I'm excited to see the price, especially because this thing is humongous. We also have an Aurora event that just started, so maybe we can try to get the Aurora mutation, and then our chicken zombie is also almost done with its cooldown. So lots of good things about to happen. These lobsters though are stressing me out. They need to hurry the heck up, dude. I'm gonna go ahead and give a toy to that chicken zombie to hopefully boost that and give us zombified right away. And let's see what the golden goose is laying its egg. Come on. There you go. You just pooped it out on me. Give me fortune. All right, you know what? I don't like you, Steven. I don't like what you're doing now. All right, chicken zombie, what are you gonna do for us? Some zombified, I would hope. Ah, some zombified, and to the carrot. Thank you so much. You're a good little chicken zombie. You can go ahead and go back in my inventory now. You have done your job. All right, Queen Bee. I guess you're gonna probably cool down my Mimic Octopus. Mimic Octopus, don't copy the Queen Bee's pollinated ability. That's like the most useless one. Aromatic for Spaghetti Sloth, and it failed. So I'm no longer excited for what it was going to do. That was very sad. All right, what are you gonna move over, buddy? Please, please, just, can I trust you? Tempestuous, good job. There you go. Another one down. Okay, so I went AFK for like an hour and something interesting happened that I didn't even think about, and this is how we're gonna do it from now on. So the golden eggs, they all spawn in with the fortune mutation, and actually I didn't realize this, but the Spinosauruses can actually just move the mutation from the golden egg over to your plant. So we actually have fortune onto our Romanesco here. We are still waiting, it looks like, for aromatic to be applied because I don't see it anywhere on here, and we have not gotten meteoric yet. So we gotta wait for those, but we did get everything else moved over from our carrots, and we did get spaghetti completely finished here. So that is good to have. So for the time being, we do have a nighttime event that is going to happen within about 30 minutes, but to see if we can get moonlit a little bit earlier, I am gonna have our Kappa spawn in and see if they can give us bloodlit and race against the Tanukis. So if the Tanukis actually give us frozen, so I'm gonna try to get moonlit, bloodlit, and then we're gonna also try and wait for this guy to still give us aromatic, and then these guys to give us meteoric, and then we should be pretty much maxed out at that point. We'll be close at least. All right, so our spaghetti sloth finally applied aromatic from its mutation shard to our Romanesco here, and we are finally done with all 4 of its mutations that it has. So we can go ahead and pick this guy up. We're now waiting for the lobsters to hopefully give us meteoric. I don't know if they will. One of them has both cooldowns almost done. Zeffy here. Hey, Zeffy, buddy, can I give you a toy real quick so you could maybe help us out, please? Don't run away from me. All right, maybe we'll get meteoric done. Maybe, just maybe. Failed. We won't get it done. We're just gonna cry. That's all we're gonna do, I guess. Suki, buddy, listen, I need you to mimic one of your lobster friends here, okay? And you need to mimic the meteoric mutation that they can do. Sounds good? Look, I'll feed you this beanstalk for motivation. Now just do your thing. Please help us. Please help us. Please, meteoric. Please, buddy, please. Let's go, dude! He actually did it. He gave us meteoric. I just had to sweet talk him a little bit and feed him a beanstalk, and he's very happy. Can I feed you this golden egg? I think you would love this. I think you'll find it delicious. There you go. That's what you get for being a good little mimic octopus today. So we don't really need you anymore. As you can see, we now have meteoric added on to our Romanesco here, and this thing is looking very beefy today. Like, we have so many mutations on this thing and a lot of new ones here. So I'm excited. This really isn't any progress, but I just thought this was interesting. This is literally tempestuous in game right now. Like, there's a windy event and a tornado. I'm sure a lot of the people that are playing right now that don't have pterodactyls are happy because they're about to get tempestuous easy mode. All right, the nighttime event should be happening any second now, and we should be able to get moonlit done pretty quick and easy. We'll just wait a little bit to see if we get a meteor shower as well, so we can get celestial, because that would be an extra mutation that we can get. All right, there we go. We got our night staff to give us moonlit. So moonlit is now done and added on to our Romanesco plant here. All right, let's see if these guys will give us bloodlit. This one's running away, which he's not going to be in stud range, but I guess our other one still has help. Oh, he's coming back. Come on, bloodlit, please. Try to give us bloodlit. Yeah. Nothing. All right, well, I'm giving up on the Kappas. We're gonna go ahead and bring in some polar bears to get this thing frozen then. Just go me. You know what? I guess we could just quickly make a chilled spray as well. It only takes about 5 minutes. So maybe instead of the polar bears, I'll just do this. So I'm gonna bring this over here, spray that, and now we don't even need our polar bears. So that goes a little bit faster. All right, so we're gonna wait a second. Let's see if we get celestial, but while we wait for that, let's see how many mutations we actually have on our Romanesco here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 mutations on our Romanesco, but we separate some here, like tempestuous would have 26, spaghetti would bring us to 28, paradisal would bring us to 29, frozen would bring us to 30, and ceramic would bring us to like 32, I want to say. So that's still a lot of mutations. So we're gonna go ahead and see if we can get a meteor shower to apply celestial to this, and if not, we're gonna go ahead and pick it up and get amber on it. Oh, it looks like we have a sandstorm instead, but that is not a meteor shower. It looks interesting though with this. All right, so we have a couple more seconds of nighttime, and it looks like no celestial. All right, well, I kind of figured we probably wouldn't get a celestial meteor shower, but it was worth the wait to see if we get that extra mutation. But anyways, I think we have a pretty good Romanesco here, so without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and pick it up. I am gonna go ahead and give some toys to my raptors to try and boost our chance to get amber applied to this, so we have an extra mutation. So we're gonna pick this thing up and check the value with Steven, and let's see if we get amber applied. And we did get Amber, so that is another mutation applied to this thing, and it's tiny now. It's just a visual bug, I guess, but this is what the Romanesco looks like. It's just very, very, very tiny in my hand, but that thing was huge, and we have all these mutations on it. So I'm gonna go ahead and check this value of this thing with Steven. So without further ado, Steven, how much would you give us for this Romanesco with like 30-something, 31 mutations on it? I don't know. There's a lot. Okay, how much? 740 billion for this thing. That is a pretty good amount for one fruit. I know there's people in this game that are like, oh, man, I get fruits that are like 1 trillion. But this is honestly a very good value for people that don't know a lot of the methods to getting gigantic fruits and making them worth $1 billion. So I think this is actually a pretty good value for this thing. I thought we had hit 1 trillion, but it's pretty close to it. And I think it's still very good. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started on this. Let's go ahead and get our sprinklers ready. Just like we always do. We got the master sprinkler, the advanced, basic, and godly, and then we're gonna go ahead and place this down inside of all those. We're gonna spawn in our mooncat so we can hopefully get a pretty big Ember Lily. And there we go. So our Ember Lily's only at 0%. Oh, it's at 1% now. It's speeding up. So I am gonna use some watering cans for this to try and help and get this thing growing fast. Let me know in the comments down below what you think the value of this thing will be once we get every single mutation on it. And then if you want, you could edit your comment at the end of the video and see if you are close. All right, our Ember Lily is growing. It's actually growing a lot faster than I thought it would, so that's good for us. The other thing is too, we have Windy going on right now, which would be perfect if this thing was already grown and already had rainbow on it. All right, there we go. Our Ember Lily is grown. Now, the plant itself is looking pretty small, but we could still get a pretty big flower at the top, and I hope we do. I really hope we do. All right, so we're just going to give it a little bit to grow, and we'll see what kind of Ember Lily we get. We'll see what the size of it is. We have all these mooncats, and a bunch of them just napped right next to it, plus all the sprinklers. I think we're going to have a good-sized Ember Lily, and it's growing. I think that's a pretty good size. We'll see if it expands anymore. Oh, it's growing upwards. Okay, so that might be our size then. That might be it. Actually, you know what? This one doesn't look that big. I am gonna go ahead and delete it, and then let's see if we can get a bigger one. I really want this to be a big Ember Lily. All right, so I'm gonna see if this one grows into be a decent size. It might be still pretty small, but it does look like this one's gold again. I wish gold would actually matter for this. I wish it would count as one of the 5 mutations that we need to get rainbow, but since it doesn't, we do have all of our sprays in line, and we will be using those in just a second. This might be as big as it's going to get because our mooncats be struggling today. All right, this thing has progressed pretty nicely. It looks a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be, so I think we got a pretty good-sized Ember Lily. Now, to save some time, I'm bringing out the big guns, and we're going to be hitting the Grow All button. Sometimes we got to use bow-bucks to get some good end results, and if you want to help support these videos so I can spend more bow-bucks, you can always check out the Bandites merch. You could buy it in my Roblox group. The links are in the description, and you can look as handsome as I do. All right, but I'm bringing the main account me over here to grow all so we can get that Ember Lily looking nice, okay? And there we go. Our Ember Lily is grown. We saved a little bit of time. This is still not as big as I was hoping it would be, but it's a pretty decent size overall. Now we're gonna go ahead and pick up our mooncats. I really wish this Ember Lily was bigger than this, but I guess this is the size we're gonna go with. I think this is decent, but all right, we're gonna go ahead and use all of our spray mutations here. So let's do a chocolate spray on this thing. We're gonna save the Cloud Touch. We'll do pollinated. We'll do shocked, and we'll save the amber one. So we'll do 1 chilled, and that is 5 mutations, but gold does not count towards getting rainbow. So instead, we're going to use a honey sprinkler to get this honey glazed. And there we go. Now we have the 5 mutations that'll actually count. So we go ahead and spawn in our queen bee and a butterfly. Now, some people were asking me in the comments if the queen bee only cools down the butterfly, and no, the queen bee just cools down whatever pet has the longest cooldown currently. So since we only spawn in these 2, the longest cooldown is always going to be the butterfly, so it saves us about 7 or 8 minutes in the end, so we can get this thing rainbow a little bit faster. And again, the butterfly does need 5 mutations, and gold does not count. So these are the 5 we have: shock, chocolate, honey glaze, pollinated, chilled, and that will convert those into rainbow. But anyways, now we gotta wait for these guys to do their thing, get this thing rainbow, so we can't really do much until then. So I'll see you guys in literally like 2 seconds when this is about to be rainbow. All right, it's time for the stuff to happen. The queen bee is going to cool down our butterfly, and our butterfly is now going to get this thing rainbow, and we say bye-bye to the gold mutation that we have. And just like that, our Ember Lily loses all these, but we get Rainbow. So I'm going to go ahead and pick these guys up now, and then we're going to go ahead and reapply all of our spray mutations. So we got Pollinated, we got Shocked. We also have Amber, which people did tell me if you wait like 24 plus hours, you can get Old Amber, and then there's another variant of Amber, but we don't have that kind of time. But I am going to spray Amber on there. We have Chocolate, and then we have Chilled, and then we're also going to go ahead and put Honey Glazed on as well. And just like that, we're already up to 7 mutations on this thing. So we're going to convert that Chilled to Frozen by using a Sea Turtle. So there's our Sea Turtle. You good, bro? He's stuck inside the fence. I hope he's okay. And then we're also going to try to get all of the pet mutations. So I'm going to spawn in a Scarlet to get Verdant. We're going to spawn in 2 Chicken Zombies to hopefully get this thing zombified. And we'll also spawn in 2 Cooked Owls. And finally, we'll spawn in 2 Disco Bees. So now we'll have a chance to get zombified, burnt, or cooked. Disco. We'll get Chilled to Frozen once the Sea Turtle turns it wet. And then we can also get Verdant on this, which will be good. So once we get a Heat Wave event, we can get Paradisal on this Ember Lily. So far, we got a pretty good setup here. Now we just got to wait for these pets to do some stuff to give us these good mutations. And we got to wait for some events to happen. Hopefully, we'll get a Windy event to spawn in again. And then hopefully we can get Twisted, Tropical Rain, all that good stuff. You know what? I completely forgot one of our sprays. I forgot to put the Cloud Touch spray on this. There we go. So now we're actually up to 8 mutations. All right, our Sea Turtle just applied the wet mutation to our Ember Lily, so now it is officially frozen. We can go ahead and pick up our Sea Turtle, and I guess we'll go ahead and put another Scarlet down so we can have double the chance to get Verdant. So let's see what we get next. All right, hopefully this Scarlet gives us the Verdant mutation so we can get Verdant before we get a Heat Wave. That way we can get Paradisal, and I don't know if you can stack Sun-Dried with Paradisal anymore. You used to be able to, but after this last update, I've noticed that you can't. All right, Scarlet, don't let me down. Let's get that Verdant mutation done. Oh, let's go. He didn't let me down. I was like instant. All right, so now we have Verdant. So we're set for a Heat Wave event. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up these Scarlets. And then I guess because the Chicken Zombie usually takes the longest and the Cooked Owl, I'll go ahead and spawn in another Cooked Owl and another Chicken Zombie. And hopefully we get Disco next. The Disco Bees are almost done with their cooldowns, and so are our original Cooked Owls. All right, let's see our luck with the Cooked Owls. Will we get burnt or cooked? We've never gotten cooked before, so that'd be cool to see. First Cooked Owl failed. What about the second one? All right, so just like that, we got zombified. Usually we get zombified last out of all of our pets, but this time we actually got it before we got Disco or cooked / burnt. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick up these Chicken Zombies here. I am gonna go ahead and spawn in 1 more Cooked Owl so we can have 4, and then we're gonna spawn in 2 extra Disco Bees so we can have 4 Disco Bees, and that will conclude all of the pet mutations. And then we just have to wait for some weather or any events to spawn in. But so far this thing is looking good with all of the pet mutations on it and some of the extra ones that we got from the sprays. Disco Bee's going. Failed. What about the other Disco Bee? All right, other Disco Bee's going. And apply. There we go. Disco mutation is now done. So we just need to get these Cooked Owls to give us either cooked or burnt, and then we just gotta wait for events to happen. So I'm gonna pick up all of our Disco Bees since they're good. We're gonna max out on the Cooked Owls, which we only have 5 of them. And then I guess to help, we'll spawn in 2 Queen Bees to hopefully cool these guys down. Or maybe we'll stick with 1 Queen Bee, because if we have 2, it might cool down the other Queen Bee, since these Cooked Owls, their cooldown isn't that long. Oh, perfect. We got a Windy event. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my sprinklers ready to hopefully help with this. We're going to put a Master Sprinkler down. We're going to put a Godly Sprinkler down, and we're going to put an Advanced Sprinkler down. The basic doesn't really help with mutations, and hopefully that'll help us get Windstruck. Come on. Oh, we just missed our chance. All right, our Cooked Owl finally applied the burnt mutation to our Ember Lily, which means we are officially done getting every pet mutation that we possibly can get. I guess besides Windstruck, since technically you can get that from the Pterodactyl. But anyways, this Ember Lily is looking pretty good. We just need to get some event mutations on this. So hopefully we can get Windy, Heat Wave, maybe some Tropical Rain, maybe some Aurora. Ooh, it's nighttime. This is good. We can get Moonlit, and we do have a Night Staff here. So hopefully we can get it to just channel us some Moonlit mutation real fast, real quick, real nice. There we go. We got Moonlit. Your Night Staff helped mutate a fruit. Thank you, Night Staff. Okay, I got excited for a second because I thought this was tropical rain, but it's regular rain, and we already have frozen. However, if we had sandy, I believe this would still help that sandy turn into clay, and then we could get it ceramic. But because we don't have sandy, this is kind of a pointless event to have. All right, we have another windy event, and we just got windstruck like literally instantly from this one. So I guess it only takes like 3 or 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 windy events to get windstruck. But so far, this thing total has 14 mutations on it. I'm hoping we can get a couple more on this. All right, so we literally have 14 mutations on our Ember Lily, and we have been sitting here AFK for 3 hours, and literally the only event that has happened is Windy and Moonlit. Like, our event luck today is horrendous. So we're gonna go ahead and check the value of the Ember Lily with all the mutations that we currently have on it. I wanted to get more of the event mutations, but the event mutations are really difficult right now without Brighter's help, and hopefully we can get blessed by Brighter again soon. But for now, we're gonna move forward and check the value of this with Steven. So without further ado, I will pick up this Ember Lily, and here is our beautiful Ember Lily with all of the mutations that we got on it, all 14. I wish we could have got this bigger. I wish we could have gotten more mutations, but we are going to see what the value of this is with the mutations that we did get. So without further ado, I'm going to talk to Steven here, and let's see how much this thing is worth. So Steven, what would you give us for this? 23 billion, and this thing again only has 14 mutations on it. That is a lot of money for this that doesn't have all of the normal mutations we get, like all of the admin mutations. So what do you guys think? Was this worth it for those 14 mutations? What do you think the value would have been if we actually got every single mutation today, including the admin mutations? So first off, I'm gonna go ahead and play some sprinklers here. So let's do our Grandmaster, Master, Godly, Advanced, Basic, and also a Stock Sprout sprinkler here. We're gonna throw our Beanstalk seed right inside of that. We're gonna go ahead and spawn in some Triceratopses to speed up the growth of this beanstalk. I'm also going to use some watering cans just to speed this up a little bit to help out our Triceratopses. Oh, that's growing in actually pretty quick. So this thing's at 34%. Our Triceratopses should be able to speed that up. And this seems to be a pretty big beanstalk here. Looks like it's going to be very tall, which might be a good thing, but it also could be a bad thing if the fruit that we need is all the way up here. We're gonna have to do a lot of climbing today. All right, we're at the very tippy top of our beanstalk. So whenever the Triceratopses hit it and it grows, it's gonna go straight through us. All right, our army of Triceratopses are about to smack up our beanstalk. So let's see if this fully grows in. It should. It definitely should fully grow in. Let's see. Yeah, it's good. It's good. Hey, guys, chill. It's good. We don't need all these in here yet. All right, so what I'm going to go ahead and do now is pick up all these guys, or at least pick up 2 of them, keep 1 there. I'm going to pick up all these beanstalks that grew in because we don't need any of these. These are too small, puny, weak, stupid. It's cleared now, so I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in 7 mooncats here. We're gonna let these mooncats finish their cooldowns, and then we're gonna drag the beanstalk into a group of them so we can get some pretty big beanstalks to grow in. People are gonna be yelling at me again to use pancakes, but I don't have any pancake stacks, okay? I'm not that good at this game right now. No, I just need to grind the event more before it ends so I can get that pancake stack because I don't have any. So these guys have a couple more seconds here. Hopefully we'll get a couple of them to group up over here. Okay, this might be a good stack right here. Guys, keep coming over here. Yeah, maybe that'll be easier. Like right on top of the beanstalk. That's fine too. Yeah, yes. Perfect. Look at all these guys. All right, we're gonna drag this right into the middle of all these. Yes, hopefully that gives us a very, very big beanstalk growth. All right, let's see if that gave us any big beanstalk growths. Come on, smack that thing. Blah! Oh, this is all we got was this puny little thing right here. What? Why did so many small ones grow in again? All of our mooncats did that for nothing? What's going on here? There's gonna be a big sprout, because like down here, none of them sprouted, and only at the top they did. So there's gotta be something that's about to grow in that's gonna be a big boy. All right, so I've been sitting here trying to get a big beanstalk, but I just found something out, and that is that beanstalks usually aren't visually big, okay? Because look at this, right? I have this beanstalk here that is 40 kilograms, and it looks like this, which looks pretty big, right? But then I have this beanstalk here that is 174 kilograms. It's only this big. So really the beanstalks, you could have a huge beanstalk, but you just won't really know it because the sizing on them, it doesn't really visually get big. It's not that common to show this big of one. And even though this one looks big, it's only 40 kilograms. So yeah, this is actually considered a big beanstalk here, and we probably already have a bigger one than that. As you can see, this one right here is, I think, a pretty big beanstalk as well. And this one already looks bigger than this one that I'm holding. So I believe this one is probably even closer to like 200 kilograms. So I think we have our winning beanstalk here. So I'm going to go ahead and favorite this one real quick. And then we're going to pick up all the beanstalks around it. All right, yeah. So again, as you can tell, like this one's 161 kilograms, but it's this small. So yeah, these things just don't visually get that big, which that's good to know. So I don't sit here because I've been sitting here for like 30 minutes trying to get a big one, but I guess I'm just crazy. I didn't know that.
Get out of here.
So here's the beanstalk we're going to be working with today. So I'm going to go ahead and get 5 mutations put onto this thing. Let's see, is there wet or anything on this already? No, it's just basic. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put chocolate, honey glazed, shocked, pollinated, and then I guess we'll go ahead and put a cloud touch since I have a couple of these. All right, that will give us 5 mutations on this beanstalk here. There we go. And then with that, we're gonna go ahead and spawn in a queen bee, and then we'll spawn in a butterfly. The queen bee will cool down our butterfly, and the butterfly will convert this beanstalk here to rainbow. So I'm gonna go ahead and unfavorite that just so it can go ahead and do that. And then over here on my main account, I will also spawn in a queen bee, and I'll spawn in a kitsune. So that way this queen bee here will cool down the kitsune in there, and then that will eventually steal this beanstalk, apply chakra, and that'll be an extra mutation we can get on the beanstalk. So we're gonna go ahead and wait for the queen bee to cool down our butterfly, get this thing rainbow, and then we'll continue on after that. All right, our queen bee's cooldown is done. She's now cooling down our butterfly, and our butterfly is converting all of those mutations up here to rainbow, so we can have that done. There we go. We have a rainbow beanstalk now, so we can go ahead and pick up our queen bee and our butterfly, and then we can go ahead and start applying some of these sprays here. So we'll put honey glazed onto that, shocked, pollinated, fried, burnt, verdant, cloud touched, wet, so our Kappas could try to get bloodlet, chocolate, and I believe that's everything. We have 10 mutations on that, which is good. We're gonna go ahead and favorite that, and then we're gonna go ahead and start spawning in some of our pets here. So I'm gonna spawn in our lobsters first because these guys take forever to get molten and meteoric. They have a 15-minute cooldown for molten, 30-minute cooldown for meteoric, and their percent chance for both of those is insanely low. About 20% and 10% without the boost that they currently have on for both of these. So we're gonna get these guys started so they have a little bit more time to apply that. We're gonna go ahead and also spawn in our Kappas to attempt to give us bloodlet. We'll do our disco bees to give us the disco mutation, and then we'll also start off with our chicken zombies. Maybe we'll do maybe before we do the chicken zombie, so we get one of the mutations out of the way, we will start with the Raiju here. So then we'll place this carrot seed down, and then we'll apply the shocked spray onto this. So then our Raiju will eat that and then apply static to our beanstalk. That way we can get this pet out of the way. And then we'll also actually, before we do the chicken zombies, we'll start with our spaghetti sloth here. This guy has 4 mutations he has to apply, which aromatic is one of them since we have the aromatic mutation on him. And then he also needs to give us pasta, sauce, and meatballs so we can get spaghetti. All right, so we have 1 minute left on my main account over here for this kitsune's cooldown to be done and then to apply chakra. I'm actually going to go ahead and travel this carrot back here so he'll hopefully just focus the beanstalk. Also, we have acid rain, so we can hopefully get acidic on this beanstalk here. We'll see. Wait, what the heck was that, dude? This beanstalk just tried growing in on top of this one. Hey, don't be touching my other beanstalk like that. I'm going to keep this favorited though because I don't want the Raiju to eat it, even though I mean, we have time, but you know, just in case. He's a hungry boy. All right, here we go. Kitsune Simon is on the way. He's gonna eat this beanstalk and hopefully only this beanstalk since it's the only live plant that I have. Yep, there we go. We have the chakra mutation now on our beanstalk. So that is perfect. We should be good. We're good with our main account. So we're gonna go ahead and leave on that over there. And we're just gonna go ahead and wait now for the net pets to do their next moves for us. All right, our disco bees are about to attempt to apply disco to our beanstalk. So hopefully they can do so without causing issues. Let's see if our disco bees help us out here. Give us disco, please.
Nope.
Okay, I guess that one was way too far out of range because nothing happened, which is annoying. Let's see if our other one will apply disco, maybe, please. Please. Oh, perfect. First try, we got disco added to the beanstalk, so we can go ahead and pick up our disco bees. They are done with their job for today. I'm going to go ahead and place another carrot down. I actually removed it again just so I can make sure that they wouldn't apply it to this because our Raiju has to eat the carrot. So there we go. Now our Raiju can go ahead and eat that. Yeah, our disco bees are done, so we can go ahead and replace them. I'm going to go ahead and replace them, I guess, with the corrupt kitsune and the pterodactyls. So we can attempt to get corrupt chakra, and we we can get tempestuous, and now I'm going to use carrots for these guys as well in just a bit to give us some more mutation chances. But anyways, our Raiju here is going to eat our shock carrot now, and then apply static to our beanstalk just like that. So that is another mutation done and out of the way. We'll pick up the Raiju. I'm going to go ahead and attempt to get oil done. So we're going to spawn the junk bot in since he takes a while. All right, let's see if we get any mutations from our lobsters here. Hopefully we can get molten done and out of the way on to our beanstalk here. There's another beanstalk growing in. I'm getting that thing out of the way. All right, come on, guys. Apply molten. Just let's get that done. You know, it's pretty easy. Come on. Oh, look at that. First try. We got molten to the beanstalk. Thank you for making it so easy. You just got to ask nicely, I guess, and they will do their thing. The spaghetti slot's headed over to apply one of his mutations, even though he has like 4 of them. This will just be 1 out of 4. See which one he adds in, though. All right, perfect. We got sauce done and out of the way. So now we just need pasta and meatballs, and then we need him to give us aromatic when he's ready for that. I'm gonna go ahead and place some carrot seeds down real quick here. Let's do about 9 because our corrupt kitsune will also need some to work with. And I'm gonna go ahead and feed a toy to my pterodactyl here. And oh, okay, well, we didn't even really need him for that because instantly we got windstruck and twisted applied to our beanstalk, so we didn't even need the carrots for him. So yes, we now have tempestuous on our beanstalk. We will not need Spinosaurus to move tempestuous over, which is nice. That's 1 less to worry about. And I guess in the meantime, we'll spawn in our first chicken zombie here to hopefully give us zombified, and we can get that done and out of the way. Oh, there we go. It was aromatic. I thought that was one of his next food mutation ones, but we got aromatic done. That was quick and easy today. So aromatic has now been applied to our beanstalk. This is going a lot easier than the cacao, man. I gotta tell you. All right, so let's see. Are we gonna get meteoric? I don't know if this is for meteoric or molten. Let's see. Hello, lobsters. Anything? Any love today? Okay, this is for meteoric. The first one failed, and oh my gosh, we got meteoric, but it's on this one that's growing in, but that's fine. We at least got it. That one always takes forever. Oil failed, but that's fine, dude. I'm at least happy we got meteoric done and out of the way. All right, let's see what the spaghetti sloth applies next. After this, he'll only have 1 more mutation to go since we already have 2 out of 4. This will be 3 out of 4. Hopefully it's not sauce again. All right, cool. We got meatball. That works. So we just need pasta. But what I'm thinking we could do to speed the process up of moving these to our good beanstalk up here is once this corrupt kitsune applies chakra, I will spawn in another Spinosaurus so we can start getting those moved over to the big guy up there. So our corrupt kitsune is almost done. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and get some more carrot seeds down. All right, corrupt kitsune is approaching. Let's see what he applies. Hopefully we can get it directly on the beanstalk, but if not, we have these carrots, so it's fine either way. All right, let's see what he does. Come on. Okay, we got it on 1 carrot. That's good. That's all we needed. All right, and then with that, I will spawn in another Spinosaurus to start helping this one move all the mutations that we got onto this beanstalk. So one of them should eat 2 mutations, 1 off of this, 1 off of this, and then the other one should finish this one off and just eat 1, and then they'll shoot it all up to our beanstalk up here. Okay, wait a second. Something just happened. I wasn't paying attention fully, but we got our corrupt Scarlet here to apply corrupt to our carrot. I did just boost them with toys, not really knowing where their cooldowns were, but we did get corrupt, so we just need tranquil from our other Scarlet here. But our corrupt one is done. We can go ahead and pick him up, and now our Spinosauruses should be able to eat 1, 2, 1, 2, and then apply all those to the beanstalk, which would be perfect. All right, guess we'll go ahead and spawn in one of our Kappas again to attempt to apply Bloodlet to our wet beanstalk up here before it gets frozen. But if he doesn't do that, then we'll just cry. All right, our spaghetti sloth is about to apply his next mutation. Hopefully he gives us pasta, because that is the last one that we need. It looks like he's targeting the carrot though, which is interesting. But as long as you give us pasta, dude, I don't care which one you target. The Spinosauruses will take care of the rest after that. But as long as it's pasta, just make sure it's pasta. You already gave us sauce, you gave us meatballs. We need to complete the spaghetti. We need some pasta, man. Come on. He applied meatball. We already had meatballs. We don't need more meatballs. All right, well, we're gonna leave him around for a little bit longer then, because he did not fulfill his job. All right, let's see what this one eats. The passive should work again, so he should eat 1 off of this, 1 off of this, and then apply it to that one. Please work correctly, Spinosaurus. Okay, yes, there you go. Good boy. Good boy. All right, meteoric and corrupt chakra are now applied to the beanstalks. Hopefully he'll just eat corrupt, because I mean there's only meatball on both of them. I don't think he'll eat 2 of the same ones, but yeah, hopefully the next one only eats corrupt and then meatball. Chicken zombie, don't let us down. Come on, UC. Come on, come over here and be UC full. Huh? I have no friends. I'm sorry. All right. Let's see it. Zombified. 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 Well, that was the right one, but you failed. You see, I can't believe you. How could you do this to me? I was cheering you on and everything. You just ripped my heart out of my chest. I hate you. I'm just kidding. I don't hate UC, but they're not being very UC-ful. Sorry, I'll stop with that. All right, let's see it. Come on, do the right thing here. Meatball. Or no, corrupt from that one. Eat corrupt. Good. And then meatball. Perfect, buddy. You did good. You good little Spinosaurus guy. All right. There we go. Corrupt and meatball are now applied to that beanstalk. So we can pick up this meatball carrot. And we can pick up this beanstalk that is now boring with nothing on it. And we can go ahead and pick up these Spinosauruses for now. We don't really need them. We can go ahead and just try and focus our pets on that one beanstalk up there again. Perfect. We have a heat wave event. So we should be able to get that verdant into paradisal. Look at that, dude. Quick and easy with the tanning mirror. All right, so that verdant is now paradisal up here. That's a really good multiplier to have. So that is some more bonus points for us. Now, in about 13 minutes, we should have a nighttime event. So, oh wait, you can do Tranquil? Okay, you failed. Thank you for hurting my feelings. Anyways, we should have a nighttime event in about 30 minutes. And I know that because I have a Discord bot, my Discord. If you want to join discord.gg/bandites, you can get notified for grow garden events, weathers, stocks of seeds and gear and all that. So, yeah, join up, go get the bot rolls and all that. But anyways, we should have a nighttime event within 30 minutes or 20 minutes or something like that. So I'm going to go ahead and place a night staff here. So that way, when that nighttime event hits, we can easily get moonlit done and out of the way. So we don't need to use any tanukis today. All right, our spaghetti sloth should hopefully apply pasta this time. If you don't apply pasta this time, I don't know what's wrong with you, dude. Come on. You just got to get pasta. That's the only thing we need. We don't need more meatballs. We don't need more sauce. You're just making it nasty at this point. We need some noodles. We need our carbs, dude. Come on. Please give us the pasta. There we go. Pasta is done. So our spaghetti sloth is officially done. We now have the spaghetti mutation on our beanstalks. All right, we should have a nighttime event in 2, 1, 0. Boom. Nighttime. All right, so now we should be able to get moonlit pretty easily onto our beanstalk here. So let's just wait a second, and that should apply because we also have a night staff, which will pretty much instantly give us moonlit. There we go. All right. Our night staff has helped mutate our beanstalk to moonlit. So moonlit is now done and out of the way. I'm going to go ahead and give some toys to my chicken zombies here to see if we can get zombified done. Failed. All right, well, that's not helping. What about this guy? I guess we'll wait to 2.5 minutes for this guy to see if he'll apply zombified. Hopefully he does, but it's been a struggle to get zombified today. All right, well, there is no meteor shower, so no celestial, but we did get a thunderstorm, but that doesn't really benefit us much since we already have shocked and static on our beanstalk. But all right, well, I guess at this point, I'm going to go ahead and AFK for a little bit and just have an auto clicker spam click garden. All right, so I just got back from being AFK, and it looks like we actually had a few things happen when I was gone. We did get chilled, so there was a frost event, but we actually did not get it applied to this beanstalk. It's still wet, which is kind of good because we can still try and get that wet turned into bloodlit. But we did get acidic, so we had acidic rain happen, so we can try and get that moved over with the Spinosaurus. On this, we got Tranquil, and then we got a couple of these beanstalks frozen. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up the frozen ones though because we don't really need that yet. And then this one also got zombified right here. So we need to get the zombified moved over, this Tranquil moved over, and this acidic moved over. Finally, we got oil applied to one of our beanstalks here. I gave our junk bot a toy to boost him and he applied oil finally. So that actually went on to one of these. Let me see. This one with zombified on it. So I'm gonna get rid of all these new ones I grew in with wet because we don't need any of those actually. All right, so we did get acidic applied. We already had Windstruck and Verdant, so that didn't really matter. So let's see what this one will eat next. Okay, so this one applied frozen, wet, and oil. So yeah, now our Kappas can't really give us bloodlit. I guess they could still on a different beanstalk, but at this point, I need my Spinosaurus to focus on getting the rest of those mutations applied. So we still need the zombified from this beanstalk, and we still need the Tranquil from this one. But we did get acidic and oil moved over to our favorited beanstalk here. So that is another 2 mutations. All right, so our Spinosaurus here should eat the zombified and the Tranquil right away and apply it to our favorited beanstalk. So let's go ahead and watch that happen real quick. Come on over, buddy. Let's get those last 2 mutations applied. All right, there we go. Tranquil and Zombified are now applied to our Beanstalks. We go ahead and pick up these other two here. And I believe we are good. I mean, we could still get Aurora and we still could get, I guess, Sandy and Celestial. But we haven't had any of those happen within 4 hours. So I kind of doubt we're going to get those. But we've gotten pretty much every other legit mutation that we possibly can get today. And we're about to attempt to get Amber as well. But let's go ahead and check our Beanstalk. So on this thing, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 mutations applied to our Beanstalk. And if we separate some like Tempestuous, we'd have 25. Spaghetti would get us to 27. Paradisal would get us to 28. Frozen, 29. And Harmonized Chakra would bring us up to about 30 mutations. And if we get Amber, that'd be about 31 mutations on this thing. So let's go ahead and give some toys to our Raptors here to boost our chances of getting Amber on this thing. That way they have now about a 3.6% chance. So in total, that gives us like a 7% chance. Still not that great, but if we're lucky, we'll get Amber. Let's go ahead and pick this thing up and see if we get Amber. All right, no Amber was applied, but we do have our Beanstalk here. This thing has so many mutations on it, and I don't even know what the size is. It won't even let me hover over it to see what the size is because there's so many mutations, but I believe this should be valued at a pretty good amount. So we're gonna go over here and check with our boy Steven to see what he'll give us for this Beanstalk with like 30 different mutations on it. So Steven, what are we thinking today for our Beanstalk's value? So this Beanstalk is worth 361 billion, which is pretty good for a Beanstalk because it is no longer the best plant in the game. There's so many things that topple over it now. But for 361 billion, I think this is a very good price for as many mutations as we got. And if we even got some of the other admin ones, this thing probably could have easily touched 1 trillion. All right, so before Brighter runs all the events, we actually have to get a pretty big pepper seed. So first off, what I'm going to do is actually place these sprinklers down. So we have a bunch of spice sprinklers. Then I'm going to do master sprinklers next to all of these. Then I'm going to also run up some basic sprinklers. And then we're going to go ahead and grow our dragon pepper seeds. I'm going to put one next to all of the sprinklers. And we're going to see what we get from this, if it actually makes a pretty big pepper. What we're looking for is the biggest dragon pepper that we can possibly get out of all of these. So we'll see what we get. We have some watering cans, so to speed this up, we're going to go ahead and water these. And it looks like we're gathering a little bit of an audience. Hello, welcome to the show. All right, there we go. The dragon peppers are sprouting, and they're actually sprouting really quick. All right, so these are actually pretty big ones. I don't know which one looks to be the biggest so far. Let me see. Maybe this one. Oh, no, this one right here. Definitely this one. So this one's pretty big. It's not as big as I was hoping we would get, but it's decent enough that I'm going to go ahead and keep this. So we have our dragon pepper here. Now, Brighter is going to go crazy and pretty much run every single possible event that he can. All right, he said event time. Let's do it. Bet. All right, here we go, boys. We're about to get every event possible from Brighter. Thank you so much, Brighter, for doing this. All right, here we go. We got the black hole event to hopefully get void touched on this thing, and in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and remove these other dragon peppers. All right, we got the black hole going. Let's see if any of these get void touched. I'm hoping that this big one does. We gotta get void touched on the big guy. Oh, it looks like we're getting some more events. We got Bloodlit on here. Okay, he's just gonna go crazy and do all of them. All right, we didn't get any void touch, surprisingly. Oh, but we are getting a meteor strike. Okay, this is the new one. This is the admin only exclusive meteor strike. Oh, one just landed really close, but it didn't hit our dragon pepper head on. Come on. Dude, we're getting like horrible luck right now. All these things are just missing completely. Come on. Let's get some meteors over here. All right, we got a tornado coming in for the possible twisted mutation. This thing's gonna have to come over here, though. Tornado, yo, come on. Come over here. Come over here. Come on. Yeah. Closer. Closer. Come on. Just a little closer. Come on. Come on, buddy. Good tornado. Come on. Come on in. Don't be shy. Come on over here. I have to move this over here real quick. Wait. Come on. Yo. Get over here. All right, I'm about to trowel this right into it. Go. Did I just miss that? Oh my, bro. How did I not get any of these? All right, so I said my luck is so bad, might need to run those again, and Brighter said bet, so we're about to get round 2 of all these. In the meantime, I'm gonna use these mutation sprays on this one, and we're gonna get chocolate on it, Or actually, that's pollinated, and then we're gonna get chocolate on it, so that way we can start racking up some of these mutations. We'll have to get the shocked mutation spray as well, but we'll do that in a minute. Volcanic eruption. Oh my, bro. Okay, so this is the new volcano event that you can get. We're gonna hope that one of these giant magma blocks hits our dragon pepper. So far, it's pollinated, it's chocolate, it's bloodlet, but none of the other things have hit, so we're just gonna have to wait. Oh, that one's about to touch. Yo, that one was so close. Did it touch? No, it didn't, and I accidentally just collected the one we just did all that to, the big one. All right, well. All right, we got chalk, bloodlet, void touched. All right, there we go. Now we got pollinated on it. All right, so now we got to get one of these to hit so we can get celestial on it. And then we're going to have him run back the other events he just did because our luck right now is completely terrible. I'm going to travel this guy over here to the corner so he has a better chance to actually get hit by some of this stuff whenever we redo these events. It's like a trial in between these two star crawlers, so both of them should be able to hit. That way it's in the corners, so we should get the other events to actually hit this. And in the meantime, while we do that, we actually have some pets here. So I'm gonna run up some disco bees to get this thing disco mutated. We also have some chicken zombies, so we're gonna try to use these to get the zombified mutation on this thing. All right, so he gave me some pretty OP pets. Jandel is here to laser the map. All right, he's lasering the map. Is he gonna come this way? He'll come this way. Buddy, look, man. Why do all these events only want to target the middle of the map? Hey, yo, Jandel, I need you to wake up and listen, man. Look, I'm over there. Do you not see that right there? Is it not possible for you to just hit that one right there? Please. I need your mutations. While he's doing this, I'm gonna go ahead and buy a shocked mutated spray. That way I can go ahead and get this guy shocked so we don't have to wait for that. All right, there we go. We got pollinated, we got shocked. All right, we need this twister to head this way and all of these events to actually head over here now. All right, so I was literally AFK for a second because there was a roach attacking us. We got celestial and twisted on this one dragon pepper. I wanted it on this one, but this works too. All right, so we'll start working on this one then. We'll add some pollination onto that. We'll add some chocolate onto this. This should help with some disco. Oh wait, one of them just got disco. Wait, this one got disco. Okay, so we can just get twisted to hit this one. It'll actually be better. All right, we have two very good ones right now, but one has twisted and one has void touch. So they're like split. It's split between them both for me right now. All right, hopefully these chicken zombies actually do what they're supposed to. What are the chances for this? So 22% chance. We have 3 of them. So that's like a 60% chance that one of these is going to get zombified in a second. Okay, one chicken zombie just went off, but he failed. This one failed. Come on, we got one more. We got one more. Come on. Come on, please. And failed. Okay. We're going to try to get gold on it instead in the meantime. So I'm going to go ahead and spawn in these dragonflies. Now, I also forgot we do have to get honey glazed on this. So I'm going to go ahead and also sprinkle these honey sprinklers down. And hopefully this will help. Oh, wait. That was actually quick. We already got honey glazed. It only took like 1 sprinkler. All right, there we go. Our dragonfly finally put gold on this one. So now we are up to 10 mutations. We still got to get this wet to become frozen. And then we still need pretty much the rest of the admin events. But we're getting there. We made a lot of progress so far. Bro, no way this guy actually just stole this. All right, well... yeah, this dude just stole it, so that's awesome. So glad that he did that. So I'm gonna have to get disco on this one now and void touched. All right, we got another Jandel event happening, and this is actually making some good progress. So this one actually just got moonlit on it, and it does have twisted, which is harder to get, I think, than the void touch. We'll just wait for these events to keep spamming in, but we gotta get Jandel to hit this with plasma. All right, yo, we got plasma on the dragon pepper from that. All right, hopefully we can get volcanic though. We need volcanic. Okay, that literally just like slammed on top of this thing, but I don't think that gave it volcanic, did it? Oh, yes, it did. We got molten. We got molten. That's another 2 down. All right, perfect. Bro said 37 Robux and literally looked at my dragon pepper. Bro, please have a heart. It was already stolen. I'll be so sad. All right, we're finally at peace in our own server, dude. I was starting to stress out after that guy stole. But anyways, this thing has now got wet on it. And once these polar bears do some more work, I mean, they only have like a minute cooldown. We should hopefully get frozen on this one. They're trying to apply it. Oh, let's go. He got chilled on this one. So now it is frozen officially. That is another one to check off the box. I'm going to pick up all of these polar bears, and I guess we'll go ahead and do the cooked owls for now, and then we'll try to get the disco bees back in. But I think we have some disco events queued, so cooked owls will prioritize for now. These guys take 15 minutes, and then hopefully we'll get some cooked. Now, these are only an 18.4% chance every 15 minutes. I mean, it can still get burnt, so we'll see what happens. All right, Brighter's back in. He's going to try and spam some more of the weather events for me to get the remaining admin mutations on this dragon pepper. My zombie chickens just failed at mutating, and also my disco bees just failed as well. They were close. All right, I'm just going to keep picking up these other dragon peppers just so I have a better chance to actually get my mutations on this. Because I've been at this for like nearly 3 hours and it's like 6 in the morning almost, and I should probably go to bed. Ryder's going to just hook me up. He's going to mutate this plant and just give me all the mutations on it at this point, since that's what I've been working for. Because, bro, the RNG I'm getting right now is actually insane, and I can't actually get anything good. Brighter is going to help me. He's going to just mutate this thing for me, and we're going to check the value, all right? We're going to get all the mutations on it. So, here we go. As the void touch is going, I'm going to pick this up in 3, 2, 1. All right, we have it. All right, so he's gonna work his magic. He's gonna bless this thing. Let me, where'd it go? Where'd it go? This is it, but for some reason it just like broke, and now it's really tiny, probably because it has all the mutations on it, but this is the one. All right, so now he just worked some magic, and this one has literally every single mutation in the game. As you can see, pollinated, celestial, moonlit, heavenly, bloodlit, plasma, honey glaze, frozen, gold. There's pretty much no more commas because it can't display the rest of the mutations on this. So this is my pepper with every single mutation. Thank you, Brighter, for helping me. I know this was like a lot of work to do. And let's see how much this dragon pepper with every single mutation in the game is now worth. So this one plant is worth 1.7 billion, but if we sell this single plant, it is 1.7 billion, and there we go. I thought it would honestly be a little bit more than that. That is still a lot of money. I mean, we got every mutation on that thing, so thanks, Brighter, for the help. All right, so we're gonna start out, of course, with all of our moon cats like we normally do. All right, so what I'm gonna go ahead and do is stack some sprinklers like right here. We're gonna do all of our sprinklers, master, godly, basic, and advanced, of course. But then we're gonna go ahead and place our mushrooms close to this group of sprinklers to hopefully have the effects be applied to them. There's not a lot of room to work with here, I'm gonna be honest. Okay, all of our mooncats are sleeping, but they're like not in range of our mushroom. Oh wow, they're like all over here. I guess what I'll do is I'll quickly try and place them in this group of mooncats to see if that will take effect on any of them, and then I'm gonna go ahead and place some more sprinklers right in this stash here. All right, now it's just a waiting game to see which mushrooms become the biggest out of all these, and then I guess we'll pick our mushroom. I don't really know how big the mushrooms can get. I don't think they can get as big as some other fruits in this game, but we're gonna go ahead and wait this out and see which one becomes the biggest, I guess. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and kind of compare some mushrooms here to get the top weighted one. I don't know if it matters if the mushroom is bigger like this. I'm not sure which one will actually affect the weight. So I guess what I'm gonna go ahead and do is there's this taller one right here, and I'm gonna compare it to one of these ones that have a bigger base to it. So I guess this like orange one in here will be a good choice. All right, let's see. Can I grab this one specifically? Yep. All right, we got that one. And then I'm gonna compare it to one of these because this one's a pretty wide one. So I'm gonna pick up these smaller ones carefully. All right, I'm gonna pick up this one, and then that will be a good comparison here. All right, so this one's 33 compared to this one that's a little bit taller. It's 30. So yeah, it looks like the width matters more for the price. And this one I think is our widest one, so I think we're gonna go with this one. It's not as big as I was hoping, but it's the biggest one, I think, in weight that we got. So this one will be our mushroom that we try to get every mutation on today. So I'm going to go ahead and apply our 5 mutations on this thing so we can go ahead and get it to rainbow. And actually, right before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and get our queen bee ready and our butterfly ready. just so their cooldowns can start. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and add shock to this. I'm gonna add pollinated. I'm going to add chocolate. We'll use a honey sprinkler. We're gonna add a cloud touch mutation onto this just so we have that 5th mutation. And just like that, it should update. We are good. We now have 5 mutations on our mushroom. And once this queen bee cools down, it will cool down our butterfly. And then this mushroom will turn into a rainbow mushroom. Okay, so this may or may not be good timing. We have about 1 minute left for our queen bee to cool down our butterfly and get this thing rainbow. And within that, we do have a heat wave event. So I'm hoping that this heat wave stays so we can get this thing rainbow. We can instantly get sun-dried applied to it. Because as you see, we just got sun-dried, but we got to get rainbow before we're supposed to get sun-dried. So I need this queen bee to hurry up so we can get sun-dried done and out of the way, like right now. I'm going to go ahead and also make sure I have some more tanning mirrors right next to this thing. All right, there we go. The butterfly is now cooled down from the queen bee and is about to apply rainbow, and hopefully this event does not end in like 2 seconds. All right, there we go. Our mushroom should now be rainbow, which it is, and now we just got to get a heat wave to hit one of these tanning mirrors so we can make sure that this thing gets sun-dried back. Please. There we go, and perfect. We made it. We made it. We got sun-dried applied back onto our rainbow mushroom. We're good. We have 2 of those mutations done. All right, I'm going to go ahead and pick up our queen bee and our butterfly. Now what we're going to go ahead and do is reapply the chocolate mutation onto here with shocked, pollinated, and a honey sprinkler to get us honey glaze, just like we did at the start. All right, there we go. And then on our main account, we're going to apply the Amber mutation and also the Cloud Touch mutation. Now, I do have the chilled spray right here, but we're not going to do chilled just yet because we're going to try and work on ceramic first. So in the meantime, I'm going to have my main account leave, and hopefully we can get this thing to ceramic before we have our main account rejoin. Otherwise, we'll just go straight for frozen. All right, but just like that, our mushroom is looking pretty good. We are up to 8 mutations on it, and to go ahead and add to the fun of this, we're going to go ahead and start spawning in all of our pets. So we're going to get our disco beast to get that disco mutation applied. We're going to use our chicken zombies to get that zombified mutation applied. 2 cooked owls to get either cooked or burnt applied. And then we're going to do 1 scarlet, but we're also going to do 1 mimic octopus, just so that way we can hopefully get a 100% chance to get one of these other mutations. Oh, you know what? Actually, before I use this bird to get verdant and then turn sun-dried into paradisal, I want this sun-dried to go to ceramic before it goes to paradisal. So I'm going to actually go ahead and pick up our scarlet for now. And I am going to go ahead and use our sea turtle because thinking about it, I do need to get wet on this anyways in order to get this thing clay. So I'm gonna see if this event gives us wet or if our sea turtle gives us wet, and as long as we get one of the 2, I think we're good, and then we just gotta wait for a sandstorm to pass through. All right, usually the disco bees come in clutch. Let's see if that's true for today. 1 disco bee's going off. Zephy, let's go, dude. The disco bees, they just know their game, man. Look at that. We already got disco applied to the mushroom. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead then and pick up this other disco bee, and I guess in the meantime, we'll just get some more sea turtles just to get this thing wet quickly because we really want to get that clay done and then this thing can turn to ceramic. Okay, our sea turtle just applied wet to the mushroom, which is perfect timing because I got to pick these guys up quick because our mimic octopus is about to mimic one of our other pets. So now we can either get cooked or burnt, or we'll be able to get zombified pretty much instantly with the mimic octopus. So let's see which one he decides to mimic. Okay, he's doing something. We'll see it. Okay, well, I thought the mimic octopus was a 100%, but he literally just failed. So I guess the mimic octopus is not a 100%. It can still fail, and I guess it just picks up on the rates of what your other pet's chances are. So I guess that makes sense. I think if it was a 100% success rate every time, it would be a little broken. All right, cooked owl applied burnt to mushroom. We now have burnt on our mushroom. Thank you, cooked owl. I wonder if one day we'll actually get the cooked mutation instead of burnt. It seems to be very, very rare. Oh, and chicken zombie applied zombified. So you know what? For once in my life, maybe I won't be so sad. And besides that, we could get verdant, but we're just gonna wait that one out until we can get that sun dry to turn into ceramic. I don't want to mess with that. I want to try to get ceramic first this time because that's the one we'd be struggling on. All right, so we have a windy event going on, so we can hopefully get this mushroom windstruck added onto it since our dino eggs are still needing a lifetime to open. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna try to trowel this mushroom to the front of my garden here because for some reason And other people noticed this too, I saw in the comments, that whenever you move the mushroom to the front of the garden, for some reason, you usually get wind struck a lot easier when it's up here. Now, maybe we're all just tripping, but I don't know. It seems to work for me in the past, and it seems like it works for other people. So hopefully this helps. Yeah, that didn't do anything. All right, we have another windy event coming through, so we're blessed again. Hopefully we can get wind struck done. This one should be easy, but for some reason it always is very hit or miss for us. Okay, the event just ended. Let's see. Okay, we got wind struck. Let's go, dude. Maybe this corner is the blessed corner, but wind struck is added. Now we just gotta hope that we get a sandstorm soon and a tornado twisted event. Alright, so I have been AFKing on and off, and it's been like 3 hours. And of course, when I went AFK this last time, there was a tornado, there was a moon event, and there was another heat wave. So I think the game just doesn't like me, and it thought that I left for good. So then it started doing stuff. Looking back at the clips, the tornado literally was like on our mushroom, but it did not convert our windstruck. It did not give us twisted because our windstruck did not mix and convert to the tempestuous. Oh, but hold on. Wait a minute, this is perfect timing. We just got another tornado event to start. Okay, well, I'm gonna try and get our mushroom here to get twisted on it so we can get that to mix in and give us that mutation. However, AFKing though, we have not gotten one sandstorm, and it's been like hours and hours and hours of doing this. Oh, there's 2 tornadoes on this. Hold on. But the fact that there hasn't been a sandstorm within like the 3 or 4 hours I've been recording this video, I don't know if it's going to be possible today to get ceramic. We just need sandy in order to, we have everything else. We're ready. Oh, and there we go. We did just get tempestuous. So we just mixed twisted and windy, and now we have that. That's a good extra multiplier. Yeah, I guess we'll wait around for like another 30 minutes. But if we don't get sandy, I think I'm going to go ahead and just convert that sun-dried to paradisal and convert that wet to frozen. Alright, so I have still been waiting hours on end, and we don't have friend bound, and we also have not gotten one sandstorm throughout the hours of us recording this video, which is very unfortunate. So I'm gonna go ahead and move forward then with just turning the sand-dried into paradisal and the wet into frozen, and see what the value is after this. I wanted to at least get ceramic and celestial on this as well, but we're almost there, and we haven't gotten either events in hours and hours of waiting. So I guess what we're gonna go ahead and do is spawn in our scarlets here, and just in case we'll spawn in our mimic octopus just to help them out if they don't make any progress. And I'm gonna go ahead and give them all a pet toy to hopefully boost their chances. I'm just gonna go ahead and apply the chilled spray to our mushroom. So now our mushroom is officially frozen instead of wet. All right, and just like that, our Scarlet applied Verdant to our mushroom, which gives us Paradisal as it combined with the Sun-Dried mutation. All right, I'm gonna pick all of these guys up, and we are now at 14 mutations on this thing. Now, if you expand some of the ones that combined, we'd be at 16 mutations. Now, I only really needed to get Ceramic on this, and then maybe Celestial and Aurora. So we're pretty much missing 3 legit mutations, but we're almost there. But within hours of sitting here, I didn't get any of those events, which is crazy. Now, of course, this doesn't include all the admin ones, but I think the creator program is supposed to resume very soon, so we can start getting those in these videos again. It's time to check with Steven the price of our mushroom. So without further ado, let's go ahead and do that. And Steven, what is our mushroom valued at? All right, so our mushroom is worth 5 billion. I think this could have definitely been a lot more if the size of this thing was bigger. I don't really know the max size you can get of a mushroom. I know I've seen some very, very tall ones before, some very big ones, but for this one only being, I don't even know, probably around 30 to 40 kilograms, that's pretty good. I mean, 5 bill is pretty good with all these mutations. There's definitely other plants that would have gotten you more. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in 7 mooncats here instead of the 8 that we used to do, because we're going to throw in a Triceratops, because this guy will speed up the growth of our plant and then also help us get a huge plant combined with the Mooncats. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and place our sprinklers down next. So we do have this new Grand Master Sprinkler, and this should give us some pretty fast growth and some good mutations and all sorts of good stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and place this OP Grand Master Sprinkler down. It covers almost the entire garden. We're gonna put a Master Sprinkler underneath that. Then we're gonna put our Godly Sprinkler in there, Advanced Sprinkler, and then our Basic Sprinkler. And within all that, we're gonna put our Grand Tomato plant down. So our Grand Tomato plant is now growing. We have some Mooncats on it, and then our Triceratops should target it and make it grow a lot faster. And we should hopefully get a pretty big Grand Tomatoes. I'm gonna water it just a little bit more just to keep it sprouting up a little bit faster. There we go. It's at 10% now, 11. I'm gonna quickly trowel this over here in between these Mooncats. Wow, this thing is going to be big. That only went up another 10%. This is crazy. Oh, okay, that Triceratops just hit it, and now it's actually at 96%. So whenever this next one hits it, we might get our first sets of tomatoes to actually grow in. All right, it's fully grown now. So now our Grand Tomato plant is done and it's fully grown in. Now we just gotta wait for the fruits. Now our next Triceratops right here is about to smack it, so we'll see if it gets us some pretty big fruits. Oh my, okay. Those are pretty big tomatoes. All right, our Grand Tomatoes are now fully grown in, and it looks like our gold one here is going to be the biggest one from what I can tell. That one has 7.5 studs going across the top, and then this one only has, like we said, 7, and then this one's only about 6. So yeah, I think we have our winner here, which is this gold one. So I'm gonna go ahead and favorite that. We're gonna pick up the other ones that are in here. All right, well, we do have gold on it, but gold does not count towards getting rainbow, and we do need 5 mutations total, but gold is not even considered one when we're trying to get rainbow with the butterfly. So what we're gonna go ahead and do is we're going to apply pollinated to it. I guess we'll apply wet to it because that's like a free one there. Shock, chocolate, and then I also have this extra Windstruck spray, which you don't really need because I have pterodactyls, so I'm gonna go ahead and spray that. And there we go, we have 5 mutations that we can use now, and we're going to spawn in a queen bee and a butterfly. So the queen bee's cooldown is about 7 minutes shorter than the butterflies. The queen bee will cool down our butterfly, convert all these mutations to rainbow, and then we can start getting the other mutations. All right, and then over here on my main account, I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in my queen bee and my kitsune. They were spawned in, but I have to reset the timers so then they line up with our Grand Tomato after it gets rainbow, and that way this will be a little bit closer in sync. So once we get rainbow on it, we can get chakra applied right away. All right, well, we have about 2 minutes left for our queen bee's cooldown to be done to convert our Grand Tomato here to rainbow, but we just got a nighttime event, so I'm really hoping that these 2 minutes go fast and that we can get this thing to rainbow so then we can get our Grand Tomato to turn moonlit. That way we don't have to wait around for our Tanukis to give us moonlit or for another night event. All right, our queen bee's cooldown is done. Our butterfly is now being cooled down, and we will take 5 of these mutations, well, pretty much all of them at this point, and then we'll turn our Grand Tomato into rainbow. There we go. Our Grand Tomato, which is huge by the way, is now rainbow. So we can go ahead and pick up our butterfly, pick up our queen bee. Oh, there we go. Perfect. We got moonlit added to our Grand Tomato right away. So I'm going to go ahead and favorite this now so I don't accidentally pick it up. Let's go down our sprays. We're going to go ahead and apply shock to this. Pollinated. We're going to go ahead and apply wet as well so we can use our Kappas to turn that to bloodlit. We're going to apply chocolate. Then we're also going to apply a honey sprinkler so we can get honey glazed. And our kitsune just stole it from my main account, so that should have applied chakra. So real quick, let's go ahead and check everything that we have here. So we have 8 mutations. I'm going to favorite that again real quick. And then on my main account, I'm going to apply the Verdant Spray mutation and Cloud Touched. So I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in first 2 Disco Bees so we can try to get Disco applied to it. We're gonna spawn in 1 Pterodactyl so we can go ahead and get Windstruck and hopefully Twisted so we can get Tempestuous. Go ahead and spawn in for now just 1 Kappa to try to get this to turn bloodlit. We'll spawn in 1 Cooked Owl for cooked or burnt. We'll spawn in 1 Chicken Zombie for now for the zombified mutation. We'll also go ahead and spawn in our Corrupted Kitsune so we can get Corrupted Chakra, turn that into Harmonized Chakra. And then I guess finally we'll spawn in 1 of our Scarlets for now. We do have Verdant, but we do have a Tranquil Scarlet and a Corrupted Scarlet, so we need to try to get Tranquil and Corrupted. So I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in our Tranquil Scarlet here. Now we're up to 8 pets, so we have lots of mutations that we can look forward to getting, and now we just gotta wait around for them to do their things and for events to happen, and then we can start stacking up mutations on our Grand Tomato. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and use some of my toys here to boost some of our pets' cooldowns and also give us higher chances to get some of these mutations. So we're gonna go ahead and boost the corrupted kitsune to hopefully get corrupted Foxfire chakra. Let's see. Okay, we only got one corrupt chakra. I don't even think he applied it to our big one. Yeah, no, all right, so we're still gonna have to wait for that, but that's fine. All right, let's go ahead and use this on our pterodactyl to try to get twisted done. Okay, we only got Windstruck. We did not get Tempestuous. We did not get Twisted mixed with Windstruck. Eventually, I can use our Pterodactyl again and try to get our Pterodactyl to apply Tempestuous to like a carrot or something, and then use a T-Rex to eat it, and then spread it to our Grand Tomato here. But for now, I'm gonna go ahead and pick up our Pterodactyl. For now, I am gonna use a Raiju here to get static applied to our Grand Tomato. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do for that is I'm gonna go ahead and put a carrot down right here. We're going to apply Shocked to it. And then we're going to spawn in our Raiju. So he will eat this shocked carrot and then apply static to our Grand Tomato here. Oh, and I almost forgot, but to save some time here, since we did get Corrupt Chakra on one of our Grand Tomatoes, I am going to go ahead and pick up our Corrupt Kitsune here, and we're going to replace him with a Spinosaurus, so we can work on getting that Corrupt Chakra moved over. And that way, if any of our other pets get mutations applied to these smaller Grand Tomatoes, they should be able to just move it right over. All right, our Raiju is running over to eat the Shocked off this carrot, and then he's going to convert that to static and apply it to our Grand Tomatoes. There we go. The big one is instantly converted to static. That's good. So we don't have to use a Spinosaurus to move that over. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up this Raiju. And now we're going to introduce the new pet, which is the Spaghetti Sloth. And again, the Spaghetti Sloth every 14 minutes will go to a nearby fruit and does a cooking. And it will apply pasta, sauce, or meatball mutation. So we could probably get all three of these and actually get them all to our Grand Tomato, as they'll probably apply it to the smaller Grand Tomatoes. So we should be able to get 3 extra mutations on our Grand Tomato. All right, so let's go ahead and also use these medium toys here to see if our Disco Bees will apply Disco. Okay, we got 1 to apply Disco. Since this big guy here is favorited, I'm going to pick up these 2 Disco Bees, and I'm going to spawn in another Spinosaurus, so that way they can move those over. And that looks good for now. So I'm going to go ahead and wait for these guys to apply their mutations. I'm going to go AFK for a little bit while they do their work, and once we come back, we'll see what has happened. All right, so I just got back, and it looks like our Spinosauruses moved that corrupted chakra over, so now we have harmonized chakra, but that looks like that's the only thing that happened when we were gone. Now, we do have some other Grand Tomatoes that have grown in here. One is static. I can't really tell what these ones are. I know this one has Disco on it, and this one seems to have Tranquil on it. Oh, okay, so Kappa just used its conversion to make one of these Grand Tomatoes bloodlit, and we do have Tranquil on this Grand Tomato, so we can get those moved over. So, and we also did just get zombified on one of these Grand Tomatoes as well, so we can go ahead and get rid of our chicken zombies here, and we can go ahead and get rid of our Tranquil Scarlet and our Kappa, and then what we're going to go ahead and do after that is we're going to go ahead and spawn in our Corrupted Scarlet so we can get the Corrupt mutation done. All right, so I went ahead and used my main account to grow all of my Grand Tomatoes here, just so I can see what mutations we have. So yeah, we have quite a few on these Grand Tomatoes that we need to move over. This one doesn't have anything that we need, so I guess I can get rid of this static Grand Tomato up here. But these other 2, we have quite a few here. This one, we actually need everything on it to be moved over to our big Grand Tomato. We have Bloodlet, Disco, Meatball, and Pasta. We do need to get Sauce. That's the last one. And then we also have Zombified on this one. And then this one, we have Tranquil on it, which is pretty much the only one we need from that one. But in the meantime, we also need to wait for these polar bears to give us Chilled, so we can get that moved over to our big Grand Tomato, get that frozen. All right, we did just get Chilled though applied to Grand Tomato. So yeah, now literally everything on this Grand Tomato here needs to just get moved over to our big one. All right, let's see what our Spinosaurus eats and moves over. Okay, we got Chilled and static. We didn't really need static again, but that's fine because now our big Grand Tomato here is frozen. And when our next Spinosaurus eats, we should be able to get Tranquil done and then one of these good mutations off of this. All right, so I just got back and it looks like we did get corrupt from our Scarlet. So that is awesome because usually that takes forever. So corrupt is done. We're going to go ahead and pick up our corrupted Scarlet then. And then we also looks like we got burnt on our Grand Tomato here. So we still need to wait for this corrupt, this bloodlet, burnt, and pasta to move over to our big Grand Tomato. But we did get zombified moved over and we did get meatball moved over. And then I guess the last thing we'll need to do is just make sure we can get tempestuous done. So I think what I'm going to go ahead and do now to try and get tempestuous going is I'm going to plant the rest of these carrot seeds I have, and I'm going to spawn in some pterodactyls again and try to get tempestuous on one of these carrots or on one of these grand tomatoes. So once we have tempestuous, we can have our Spinosauruses move that over to our big grand tomato, and then we should pretty much be done with all the pet mutations. All right, let's see what our Spinosaurus converts over. Okay, we got Bloodlet, we already had Windstruck, and we already had Meatball, but we did get Bloodlet moved over to our big Grand Tomato. So now we just have to get Corrupt moved over, and then we have to get Burnt and Pasta moved over. But we're making some good progress. Our Pterodactyls will hopefully give us Tempestuous, so we can get that done and out of the way. We also have our Sloth here, who's hopefully going to apply sauce. Can we get that sauce done, please? So I don't know what happened in this area of the video, but I guess some of my footage did not get recorded, and my microphone was also muted. But pretty much what happened is my Spinosauruses did move over Burnt and Corrupt to the Grand Tomato, and then we also got Tempestuous from our Pterodactyl on this carrot. So I was trying to explain that we're going to wait for my Spinosaurus to move that over to the Grand Tomato. All right, so I just got back from being AFK, and we did get our Tempestuous moved over, but it looks like we still have not gotten sauce. Oh, we do have sauce on this Grand Tomato up here. So once this one is moved over, then we'll have all the pet mutations done. So I guess in the meantime, since we have everything else moved over, I'm going to grab these two Grand Tomatoes here. And then we'll leave the sauce one and we'll get that moved over to our big Grand Tomato. Editing Bandites here again. Sorry to butt in, but for some reason, I guess besides my recording not working fully, my brain was also not working because I already had sauce applied to my Grand Tomato. As you can see, I have the spaghetti mutation already done, which is sauce, pasta, and meatballs. So I don't know why I didn't realize that, and I don't know why I sat here waiting for sauce to get moved over. I don't know what was going on in my head. And there we go. We now have sauce on our Grand Tomato, which is all of our pet mutations done. So yeah, it looks like if you get all three of the spaghetti sloth mutations, it just converts to spaghetti, which is pretty cool. But in total, we have 19 mutations. But if we separate some of these, like tempestuous, we'd have 20. Spaghetti would have about 23. Frozen would put us at 24. Harmonized Chakra would put us at 25. And that would be 25 total mutations on a Grand Tomato. And since we've been at this for a couple hours, I think it's been about 3 or 4 hours since I started this, we are just going to go ahead and pick up our Grand Tomato and try and see what we can get for all of these mutations on it. I'm hoping that we can get a good value with Steven today. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up our Grand Tomato here with all these mutations. Look how big this thing is too. This thing is humongous. So I think this should be worth quite a lot of money. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and walk over here to Steven, and we're going to check the value of our Grand Tomato. So what are we looking at today, Steven, with this Grand Tomato, which is technically has like 25 mutations on it? Okay, so this thing is worth 330 billion for this size and all of those mutations. I thought it might be a little bit more, like past the 500 billion mark, but that is still pretty good. I mean, look at this thing. This is humongous.